Escape to paradise with a relaxing 6-night stay in the iconic islands of Tahiti and Moorea. Enjoy an all-inclusive non-stop flight to Tahiti from Seattle or Los Angeles on Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. From the vibrant cabins to the warm and welcoming crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. This dream getaway also includes beautiful accommodations, excursions, daily breakfast, all transfers, and more, starting at just $26.95 per person. Call 1-877-468-2448 to book yours today.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell right, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
When your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. A new survey revealed some of the things that people begin to hate as they get older. And no, not your spouse. Now, the list includes loud noise, going out after you've already gotten home, staying out late, winter, and arguing with strangers online. Now, there's much more to the survey. And as a 55-year-old man, I'd say that the survey itself only scratches the surface of things that are intolerable as you get older. Now, that said, I'm one of those people that does not mind getting older. It beats the alternative, but sure, there's the aches and pains, and the doctors seem to share more bad news, but there's also that inner peace and true indifference that I find rewarding. But not everyone feels the same way. A guy named Brian Johnson, he was the subject of a Netflix documentary called Don't Die, The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. He spends about $2 million a year trying to find a way to stay young, and among other things, he's used his son's plasma in an effort to keep the years off, but it didn't work because, frankly, that's not how it works. But now he's moved into researching his son. And, well, some of the things that he researches includes tracking his son's erections while his son sleeps. I'm not making this up because I don't have the imagination to even come up with that. But seriously, he has a log of his son's sleep erections. You might be asking yourself why, and we say, that's a good question, but it is not one of the questions we'll be asking you for a random question. And today is a random question. That's where you call us. We'll ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story with us, we will then share the news story that inspired said question. The random question brought to you today by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration.
Be part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Patrol's the way we go. Welcome to Season 20 and episode number 4,249. What a large and charged program we have for you today. A guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return of your guess is as good as mine on the way at 4:30. Our categories today, as we have the stage set for the Super Bowl down in New Orleans.
Yep.
We have the 10 greatest quarterbacks of all times.
All right.
Okay. Go on to the world of the NFL. With that said, on the list, there are a number of guys that are tied, but there is only one active player on the list as far as the top 10 quarterbacks that have ever played the game.
I think we can figure that out.
You will see them in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that is one of the choices today. The other is America's favorite sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, they asked 2,000 people about the sandwiches they consider to be some of their favorites. Now, like anything else, some people like to have breakfast for dinner, which is always a winner. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everyone, like a home run. Like,
My
man,
kids celebrate if I say that.
we should do this more often. This is fantastic. The thing about a sandwich is a lot of people go and grab one for lunch and they get whatever they get. But sometimes the sandwich is not really in your mind when you're doing dinner night.
Right.
It's not top of mind. And typically, if you're going to go that way, you're going to probably make some type of hot sandwich.
Correct.
This list is a mixture of both.
Okay.
So this has got a little of your lunch favorites in there, as well as some of the ones where you're like, yeah, tonight we're hooking that up. And
You could have a turkey sandwich for dinner, but you're right. If I made it for dinner, I'd probably make a grilled turkey and cheese.
Sure. And
I don't know why, but it's like, well, it's dinner. I better heat it up.
And some sandwiches, man, we know for a fact that they are an absolute nap. So it's kind of hard to just sit there and house an
Corned
entire
beef.
Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, my God. During the lunch hour. What, Market Time Meats, was that? Market House Meats?
Correct.
Those were the ones, Steve, where you would bring in the giant-ass Reubens. Mm-hmm. And I know you can eat, but half the time you can only eat half those sandwiches.
Those Reubens were massive.
They gave you more than you paid for. People would actually complain, which I found was crazy. Like, dude, I just wanted to get a sandwich, and they put 800 ounces of meat. I'm like, what is the problem? You don't have to eat it all now,
Right.
Because seriously,
and
I would eat half, and then I'm like I said, they gave you more than your money's worth. So I'm like, dude, that's part of the reason I loved going there.
Right. And I'll tell you what,
I'm with Miles. If you eat a proper cheesesteak for lunch, like a 12-inch one, you need to lay down.
Now, we could talk about a couple of these things, but I honestly believe that in the 20 years, maybe it's just based on learning what's around the area and educating myself to some of the better sandwiches. Seattle is a great sandwich town. I think we do a lot of things better than a lot of other places do.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Like what?
Okay, for an example.
Sandwich-wise.
All right. If you want a good Cuban sandwich, paseo, or whatever the sons that took over.
Okay.
That is a very good pulled pork or Cuban-style sandwich.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it gets voted one of the best ones in the country, which makes no sense because we are the farthest away from the origins of where that place is. Fish sandwiches are incredibly good in the area.
You know what? That's strong.
If you go down to Colazzi's and you get a cheesesteak.
Very good.
A very good cheesesteak sandwich. However, there are some gaps. We don't have a good chicken cheesesteak, so to speak. It's very difficult to find Reuben on the menu in a lot of the places we go to. But for the most part, there's some good meatball subs in the area.
Smarty Pants makes a lot of good sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah. So sandwiches and NFL quarterbacks. Coming up with your guess is as good as mine at 4:30. Oh, what else do we have for you? Your chance to win $5K a day. That is still going on. All you need to do is listen to us for 1 hour on your Odyssey app. You're probably already logged in. As when you downloaded the thing for free, it just asks you your credentials. So when you listen for 1 hour, you have a shot at winning. And you can also listen at work at Odyssey.com. Just sign in, make sure you tell them that you're there. And if you listen for 1 hour, you're automatically qualified to win that money. Oh, what else do we have for you? As we're celebrating our 20th anniversary here on these fine radio station airwaves, we now have the Men's Room 20th anniversary lager.
Yeah.
And it is starting to get it out there as far as bars being on draft. More locations as far as the convenience stores, the grocery stores of the world.
Have you seen it on draft yet? I've seen it at the store. I've not seen it on draft yet. I know a couple of places where it's on their waiting. They got to blow a keg and they'll put it on, but I have not had it yet.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of cans of it. I just haven't had it on draft.
It really is. And with that, we've got a brand new T-shirt celebrating the 20th anniversary lager in the Rock Shop. It's available now at KISW.com. It is a very cool shirt.
I like it a lot, man. I don't always say that with the merch that they put out there, but this one I do like quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a stylish T-shirt, man, and hopefully you can join us at our launch party as we begin the 20th anniversary Men's Room World Tour with a Bang this year. And we'll broadcast live on Friday, February 7th from 2 until 6. Hopefully you can join us up in Woodinville at the Black Raven Brewing. If you have not tried the beer, if you have not had it on draft, you can go up there, hang out with us as we do our show live. Pick up a sixer to go or a case of beer to go. Grab a mix and match pack there, and
that is what I like to do.
At home with some good beer and join us for a free live broadcast, and you'll be a part of that as we will launch the Men's Room Lager with our launch party in 20 years here at KISW. Again, that's Friday, February 7th. So hopefully, if you're in the area, stop by and join us for a cold one. And today is the day that we do our random question. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Parker. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Oh, yeah.
Parker, welcome to the program. Random question. All right. Parker, let's start with this one. Where would you say was the worst public bathroom that you've ever had to use? Where's the worst bathroom you've ever had to use?
So if you guys are on I-5 northbound and there's a truck stop or rest stop in Fife there, or right above Fife. And so one time I went in there and I had to do the hover move where you hover over the toilet because it was so messed up. That one was the worst one I've ever been to.
And what I appreciate, you did not hesitate to answer this question. It wasn't like
it was traumatizing.
They've since redone the train station there, but the 34th Street station in downtown Philadelphia. And just like you, I'm only using it because I've got to go. I've got to go number 2, and I've never smelled a bathroom that bad. And to put it in perspective, like I asked the security guard, like, where's the bathroom? He explains where it is. And the hole to get there is probably 60 to 90 feet long. It's just this straight shot, and the bathroom's at the very end. And when you turn the corner, you could smell the bathroom from 90 feet away. Keep in mind, the door's closed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my God. And when you walk in, it visually represented what you smelled. And I'm like, I cannot. And it's one of those things where it's hot. It's humid. It's gross.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, there's a bathroom, the Dirt Church bar I used to go to all the time. And, like, even when you went in there to pee, guys notoriously, you'd hear and you'd hold your breath as long as you could. It just reeked, man. It was bad. Floor sticky, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's, like, pubic hair everywhere. But the one time I had to poop. And I'm like, there's no chance I'm going to poop in that bathroom. So I went in there and grabbed a bunch of toilet paper and paper towels and went outside and pooped next to the light rail track. And all my buddies were making fun of me, like, I cannot believe you're going to go poop next to the light rail track. I said, brother, I'm not. Look, we've been coming to this bar. We know what goes on. There's no chance I'm using that toilet in there. So I take a crap, and where this light rail track was, there's a very steep hill that kind of dropped down to a now abandoned train station. So I'm on the hill, and I'm holding on to, like, this baby tree because the hill is that steep, pooping behind me. And this is so stupid, and it's humiliating. But then the light rail train pulls up. Now, this is not the station, but it has to stop at a light. And this is a 2-minute light, and it's at night. So the lights are on in the train, which I do know makes it harder to look outside and see what's going on outside when it's dark.
Correct.
But you can still see clearly. And so in my mind, I felt like everyone could see me, and I still remember what this woman looked like. She did not see me, but just where the train was, it looked like she's looking at me, but there's no way she was. I remember exactly what she looked like.
Okay.
If she walked into this studio right now, I'd be like, you're on the light rail on this date, looking down the hill. She probably wouldn't remember, but the thing was, I didn't want to move because I figured if I move, then people on the train are going to notice some kind of movement and stare out there.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there waiting, but this baby tree, the roots start pulling up a little bit. Right? It did not rip out. I did not roll down into the train tracks, but that's what would have happened. But the tree keeps uprooting like a quarter of an inch every 15 seconds, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is how you die.
Yep.
You're going to roll down this hill, break your neck at the bottom of this abandoned train station with your pants down, poop all over the place, and this is how they're going to find you. Luckily, the train finally pulled off, wiped my ass. Everyone laughed at me at the bar. And I said, dude, I promise you, it's better to poop on a hill outside of the light rail than it is to poop in that bathroom.
Yeah. Here's a positive, horrible bathroom story. It ends well. All
Okay.
right? So when I was in high school, the high school that I went to is no longer in existence. It had been there for 100 years. It smelled like it had been there for 100 years. If you know anything about the way that high schools are as far as the rules and everything else, depending on where you went, back in the day, the public bathrooms that were at the high school had no stall doors.
Oh, God. They would take them off because kids were doing
It
stuff.
wasn't necessarily that they weren't clean. They were mopped every night, and they were taken care of by the custodial services.
Sure.
And so it wasn't like they smelled. It was so hard to go to the bathroom that, you held it if you could all day.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if you needed to go number 2, this was kind of like, oh no, like I just don't, because those bathrooms were small. They weren't as big as they needed to be for the students and the size of that building. It was just old times. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there might have been 2 stalls and 2 urinals, and that was it. And I mean, that was it for almost the entire school. Well, there was also an athletic annex that they built that had all of the lockers and the locker room facilities for the wrestling team, the men and women's basketball teams, your football, baseball, and all that. Everybody had lockers if you're playing a sport. Now, you might have just had it during the season when you were playing.
Sure.
But you were allowed in that area. So, and it was kind of across the street. There were times where if you played sports, you might be gone to the bathroom for 10 to 12 minutes or even longer because you knew you could walk across the street and get in the annex and use the bathroom with an actual stalled door. Now, during this time, there was a kid that was our age that we grew up with, smart guy, but he signed up to be an assistant athletic trainer.
All right.
So, in other words, if you're playing football or whatever, he would tape your ankles. He would do
correct
if you needed stem work, electric stem work. If you had sore spots, like he would tape your shoulders up for you and do all that stuff. And he worked under Coach Stanley, who was also like a therapist trainer. All right. And so he's taping me up one day, and I'm like, man, I was like, do you have any interest in this? Is this something that, I mean, you're going to do this in college or whatever? Because we had a pretty good physical therapy school. And he's like, nah, man. He's like, to be honest with you, the only reason I really wanted to do this is because, number one, I get credit for a period.
Of course.
And number two, I have access to the bathrooms because he had IBS.
Oh, yeah.
So that was actually the inspiration for him.
His IBS is what got him to do this work.
So because he could get access to that because you couldn't
That's
get
fair.
in there if you were. No, guess what he does now? He has his own physical therapy practice.
I'll be damned.
For sports medicine. He went to school to do it.
So if he didn't
and that's not
have
an easy degree, by the way.
If he did not have IBS, do you doubt that that's what he'd be doing now?
Well, he never would have gotten into it.
Right.
I mean, he never would have known. He never would have dipped his
What
foot
if
in
he
the water.
tells that story?
Yeah.
Like, look, make it positive.
That's
out
what I'm
of a
saying. Like,
negative,
this is
man.
a positive story about terrible bathroom situations. I know that to be a fact.
Damn.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Do you remember the video of a guy? It was last year. So the video, they never really point this part in the video. It's just someone had on their cell phone, and a fight broke out in the high school bathroom. Wherever these two kids were, they had beef. They met in the bathroom. And when you watch the video, these two high school kids, I mean, they're throwing punches. They get each other in the headlock. They ricochet off the sink. But the person I felt worse for, there's some kid in there who's just trying to poop.
Just pooping?
He has nothing to do with their fight. But as they're wrestling around, they crash through the door and basically land on his lap while he's sitting in there taking a dump. And I'm like, man, you're the guy that should throw haymakers now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You guys got beef. I get it, man. It's a high school bathroom. That's where you're going to fight. Cool. Like, I had the door closed. I'm just trying to poop. And you got, of all the stalls you could crash through, you crashed through mine.
Yes.
I would be pissed.
I mean, just like, come on, guys. Like, come on, man.
Race Bass, where's the worst public bathroom that you've ever had to use? We can all agree, for the most part, Starbucks has clean bathrooms.
Sure.
I mean, they do a great job of that. But today, I believe, is the first day that they are not allowing non-paying customers.
Oh, is this today?
I believe today is the first day of all their new rules. So basically, I said, and there's a lot of different rules around the country as far as this goes. But for the most part, rules about restroom access in restaurants vary by city, county, and state. So in New York, for an example, they require restroom access for customers at food establishments.
Okay.
With 20 or more seats. Underneath that, you still could walk in. So Subway's going to have 20 seats.
At least. They will now.
So a lot of these places, look, I don't know where you're going to go in the event of an emergency unless you're on a major interstate and there is a rest area available.
Sure.
Other than that, I mean, you can always go and sneak into a McDonald's. But you know what you do when you go to McDonald's? You typically get a soda.
I was going to say, I feel
or a
bad doing
hamburger.
it, so I feel like if I go into a fast food place on a road trip, I will end up buying literally that, like a soda and an order of fries or just something.
But at least it's economical.
Yeah.
You know, like, look, it's McDonald's, man. I'm going to go to the bathroom first, but yes, I will come out here and I'll buy something from you guys, right?
And as you know, man, there's a lot of people who face a lot of challenges out there, and a lot of times employees end up having to clean those bathrooms for an extended period of time. I know of the coffee shop that I go to every morning. They have incidents all the time that just require a great deal of cleanup in the bathroom. And people oftentimes pass out in there, and they lock the door, and they have the key. Not that the management doesn't have another key, but the last thing you want to do is open a locked door with somebody inside to check on them after you've been banging on the door forever and they're not responding.
But would you rather clean up the mess in the bathroom or directly in front of your store, 7-Eleven?
Well, again, yeah.
Because, look, if I'm trying to go to your place of business and there's a pile of excrement, I'm a lot more apprehensive to go in there. If someone's in your bathroom jacking it up, well, I don't find that out until after I've made a purchase. I'm just saying, if I'm a store owner, like, look, Just use my bathroom, man, if it's that bad. I'd rather clean my bathroom than have to hose stool off the front of my business.
Yeah, I have walked up to that particular coffee shop in the morning before with the door wide open, and it is as cold as it is right now. What are you doing? Why is there a draft coming through here? And the reason is because whatever they were smoking in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
They needed to get that cloud of vapors out of there because it wasn't, and they were telling people, like, look, you can't sit in here this morning. Not until we're going to risk it, but sure, we'll make your coffee, but you just get it and go. Get it and go until we're absolutely positive that we have all this stuff kind of aired out of the facility.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Random question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Emmett. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, hola, Bichola.
Hola. Emmett. Emmett, welcome to the program. Random question.
Emmett.
Pat Summerall, who used to announce games for John Madden Mike, was famous for he had a serious alcohol problem. Sometimes it would sound like he was just waking up during a call.
Well, actually, Emmett. Yeah. So like he would get elbowed because he's nodding off. He just went, Emmett. Right.
For Emmett Smith.
He's ripped off 50 yards already.
I know. By the time he says anything.
All right, Emmett, let's go with this one. What would you say is your favorite cheap meal? Either something you have now or something you grew up with, but you still kind of enjoy it.
My favorite cheap meal?
Yeah.
I still make every once in a while because I work night shift and I try not to wake up my roommates. I'll
I'll just open up a can of chili, make like a little bit of rice, and just have rice and beans, and call that good.
What kind of chili are you using?
Just crappy Nally chili.
Oh, there's nothing crappy about Nally's.
Thank you.
I like Nally's. I do too. I'm a fan. Aren't they out of Tacoma? I don't know. I think Nally's is.
But like, I know that there's better options, but they're cheap, and I like the taste of it, and it's certainly filling.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with, man, just rice and beans. I mean, right, it is a side dish. Like, if you go to the Caribbean, that is your side dish.
Yeah. I think Nally's is down by 16th and or 16 and like Fircrest in that area, down there in the industrial area. I think that is a local product. There's nothing wrong with that.
I worry it's not.
Probably not anymore. They probably moved to a newer location.
Was there anything cheap that your parents made for you when you were a kid that you still eat now, or is that it?
I mean, Mom was pretty good about making making really good food that didn't really cost a whole lot.
That is a secret.
One thing that I really like that she'll still make for me, like on my birthday every once in a while, and I need to learn how to make it, is tuna casserole.
Oh. So what? Just cream of mushroom soup, tuna? Does she use cornflakes and peas and all that?
She makes like a roux from scratch, and because I hate cream of mushroom soup.
Ah, okay.
And I hate what's the Thanksgiving dish?
Green bean casserole?
Yeah, green bean casserole. If it's made with like cream of mushroom soup, I really don't like it. But like my mom has made it before, where again she makes it with she makes a roux from scratch, and it tastes like significantly better than just from the can mushroom.
I can see that. Man. That makes sense.
Brain fart.
You guys ever cut up hot dogs and put them in baked beans and cook them on the stove? Is that ever part of your life? Is that
beans and weenies?
When I was a
beans and
kid,
weenies?
yeah.
When I was a kid, we definitely had that sometimes.
And there's nothing wrong with doing it
love it.
now
I
because,
love it.
like, if you make a hot dog, if I have beans, I'll put them on the hot dog. Somehow, that's okay. But if you cut up your hot dog and put it in the beans, people are like, what are you, 9? I'm like, well, it's the same thing. Put it this way. If I don't have a bun, then the hot dog's going to get chopped up with the beans. If I have a bun, I'm going to put the beans on my dog, but it's the same damn thing.
I lived in the world of a loaf of wheat bread for the week.
Yep.
And if you're going to make a hot dog and then you're going to roll it up on wheat bread, but if there was a can of...
it makes you reevaluate
a can
life.
of pork and beans, man, like just put it on the stove.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, you are good to go, man. Weenies get all nice and plumped up.
We made, you had some of the leftovers last week. We made hot and sour soup because we were both sick. My wife and I were like, hell, let's do the hot and sour soup. So it was super good, but we tried to add up the cost of what it cost for us to make this. And I want to say it would have been maybe $2.87 total for this thing that I had 2 servings that night, had leftovers the next day, brought them in. And it's like, man, why aren't we doing this more, right? It was super, super good. It does not cost jack. Like if you have vinegar, broth, I'm trying to think what the hell. We went out and bought mushrooms just to add it.
Yeah. Well, the best thing you can do.
The most expensive thing in there was eggs. Now, keep in mind, eggs are not. They don't have to be part of the recipe. They just do the egg ribbon.
Yeah.
Right. So if you subtract the eggs, which are outrageous right now, I was like, this is the cheapest freaking meal, and it is so good, and it was super filling. And so we've committed to like doing that more.
I'll take a rotisserie chicken, and then I will eat most of the dark meat. If not all of it, I'll eat both the legs, I'll eat both the wings, I'll eat the thighs. I will more than likely have a breast or 2 left.
Of course.
But I take that carcass and throw it in a pot of water.
Boom.
And, as long as you've got the right root vegetables or whatever you're putting in, chicken noodle soup is easy. You'll have it forever. It's freaking delicious, and it's still no more than that $7 chicken costs. And you
stretch it out, man.
You can eat on that forever.
I'm pretty sure the rotisserie chicken is going to replace the bald eagle as our national bird.
I love those things.
Like everybody, like it just shows up, and like my wife will buy one. It's just kind of sitting on the counter, and then she's like, "Make what you want." Like
Chicken,
there's no
chicken,
set dinner,
salad, whatever.
Right? It's just
you
there's
can
the
make chicken salad. You can make buffalo chicken dip. I like to just pull off hunks and eat it.
Yep.
Did chicken biscuits.
Reese, we asked, what is your...
By the way, in Australia, they call that the bachelor's handbag.
What's that?
When you walk out of the store with a rotisserie chicken.
They say, as far as your cheap meal goes, this comes from our friends over at Como. Harken back to a simpler time when a good hamburger was just 19 cents. You can grab one at Dick's Drive-In this week as they are celebrating their 71st anniversary, and they're rolling back the price of not only their hamburgers, but their cheeseburgers. And they will both be 19 cents.
All right.
The same price as when the first location opened on 45th and Wallingford. Now, the throwback deal is going to be available at different locations over 3 days this week. So tomorrow, you can get a 19-cent hamburger or cheeseburger at their Wallingford, Broadway, Capitol Hill, or Lake City locations.
What is their limit on this? Because if I were to tell my kids, hey, because they love dicks, right? Mm-hmm. But if I said, look, man, they're only 19 cents, they're going to order like 400 of them.
You can only order one a person.
Okay.
Just a reminder, you can purchase additional burgers beyond the 19 cents at our already low prices. Now, to ensure fairness and keep things running smoothly, the offer is limited to one 19-cent burger per customer, physically present at the window.
Okay. So, find your vegetarian friends and load up.
On Wednesday.
Sounds like I'm getting a deluxe and a cheeseburger.
Yeah. And on Wednesday, you can do the same thing at Queen Anne, the Crossroads, and the Federal Way locations. And then the final day is Thursday. Holman Road, the new location up in Edmonds, and the new location in Kent.
Where are the Crossroads? I've heard the name, I just don't know where it is.
It's where Robert Johnson wrote that song about the devil. But either way, 19-cent burgers.
See you at the Crossroads. I mean, this is by Uncle Charles, y'all.
Random. Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Cheyenne, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, what do we got for you? Now, let's see here. Okay. Cheyenne, would you be cool with an AI sex doll in place of an actual girlfriend?
Honestly, no. I mean, you can't really substitute the real thing.
Okay. You know, that answer makes you weird, apparently.
I have not seen. What do these things look like?
I mean,
the new ones are awesome.
I mean, the sex dolls, like I've seen pictures, and until I read that it was a sex doll, I just thought it was some hot model. So I guess now with this AI thing, gives them personalities, all that kind of thing. So you could actually have a conversation with them, should you so choose.
Now, this is why my Google's all messed up.
Click the picture, you can get at it.
So
click on the picture.
Okay.
And now, you're 18. Boom. Right? There you go. There's your sex doll.
Okay.
She can be yours, it says.
Yeah, dude, look at this. That's a doll.
So now imagine it with AI.
$2,589.
Cheaper than a girlfriend.
Well, this one's modeled after Kendra Lust, who I believe is a porn star.
You believe?
Kendra Lust?
Yeah.
You believe?
She might be a nun. It's hard to know with a name like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying no. So you think about all these incels, right? So you're having no luck. You're just not getting laid, and someone says, Cheyenne, we're going to give it to you free, man. She's good looking. She has, look, it has the AI personality, so she'll like you no matter how you are. She's not going to bitch at you about anything.
Yeah, but don't they learn stuff as far as just...
I mean, that's what AI
I
is.
think the newer ones do, but like these are just sex dolls. She's not going to talk.
There's no AI. But the AI thing is the big thing now.
Wow. I mean...
like I said, it's a slippery slope, but it creeps me out a little bit. Even though, yes, I know it looks real. I know they learn stuff, but I don't like the direction that's going.
All right.
I mean, he's right in the sense of like eventually you'd want to actually talk to a woman.
Sure.
But some of these, it's gracious.
I like how Ted's like, no, I hear everything that you're saying, but look.
They say with 85% accuracy, they believe that sex with robots will overtake sex with humans by 2050.
That is their prediction.
Yeah. So 25 years from now.
Does that count as cheating if I have a long-term girlfriend but I have sex with a robot?
I think she would think that it counts as cheating.
Well, but you're not having sex with a person.
But it's
so
still
it's like
a robot.
Masturbation is not cheating, right?
Not to me, no.
No. I guess it just depends on who you're with. But they say 8 in 10 people, or men think that...
8 in 10.
Think that AI girlfriends could replace real lovers, and it's that's 25 years from now. But they do have a bunch of stats lately, as far as I guess the technology is ever evolving.
Yeah, well,
so
that's their point.
What's the point of having? Like, I could fathom having a sex doll that I have sex with, but But if I'm going to have an AI doll that talks and everything, I might as well just have a real girlfriend.
But they're saying, how about all the guys that strike out on it? All the guys are terrified to speak to women, et cetera, et
I
cetera.
see what you're saying,
They want
right? They'll just
company,
hire those.
right? So that's the thing with this, is that it also provides company with the AI, because it's a whole learning algorithm. And obviously, as months go by, these things get a lot more sophisticated, but it'll know you. But the idea is, unless you program it different, it's not going to nag you about it. Yeah. There's no, you know what I mean? If that's your big problem in life, so you could sit there.
That was great. What's for dinner?
Right.
And, her, sister-in-law and her bum husband aren't going to ask you for money.
Yeah, none of that.
You have to be awkward about it.
Random.
No in-laws coming to visit.
Don't you get a job, dude?
It's just funny. His sister-in-law and that bum husband.
That's right.
Mike knows.
How much do they need? Why do they need this money?
I have bad news about Nally Chili, boys.
Yeah. The guy that drives a $65,000 truck, that guy?
He needs some cash. Yeah. Nally Chili was founded in Tacoma, Washington. But now it's owned by Pinnacle Foods. And now it's made in Iowa.
In Iowa?
Iowa. I don't really have beef with the Iowa. It just seems odd.
It does. Hello, Jess. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Jess, welcome to the program. Random question. I'm going to give you this one. What would you say, Jess, is the most risque article of clothing that you own that you could wear out? Not necessarily your lingerie or any of that stuff that you wear at home, but do you have anything that's a little bit more risque that you could wear out in public?
I do have this kind of like see-through thing that I can wear, like, say, a jacket over. But, back when I still lived in Washington, my husband and I used to go to places where you could be nude, topless, whatnot.
Oh, my God.
Where were these? I mean, like, what, a dinner theater? I mean, where were we going where you just, like, show up topless?
Yeah. Oh, no, it was like, I don't know if it's, like, bad of me to say because I don't live in Washington anymore, but Tiger Mountain, there's a couple of spots that are, like, nudist beaches.
All right. Well, yeah, sure.
I've heard of that, but I don't know where it is. I mean, I've been to the top of Tiger Mountain. I never saw any boobs.
But are there any, like, indoor places where they're cool with that? So it's one thing to have, like, a nude beach or a nude colony, but, like, is there a restaurant like, hey, come to Old Country Buffet this Sunday. Keep in mind, it's topless day.
I wouldn't do that to those old people. Come on.
All right.
How often do you think you
have a low cut?
Even for a guy, though, I would say outside of summertime, you just generally don't eat shirtless.
No, I generally do not.
I don't eat shirtless in the summertime. Like, if we're eating crabs.
What about if we're at a cookout?
Eating shirtless?
Oh, we're just, we pop the tarps off. The boys are, having fun.
Hanging around a pool.
You hand me a
or
hot
something.
dog? I got to put a shirt on?
I mean, saying, are you eating with utensils? Or is this strictly like...
It's a hot dog.
All right. Well, if you want to eat a hot dog shirtless, I mean, sure.
I mean,
I'd rather eat a hot dog shirtless in wintertime than get caught dead eating it with a fork.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
I'd sit down for a fork and knife meal shirtless. If it's summertime, like...
Yeah, steak and corn on the cob shirtless. Sounds fun.
Yeah, man. Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to get dressed in the summer. So if you offer me food, like, cool. Okay. This is how I'm going to eat it, man.
I've definitely eaten pieces of pizza at night shirtless.
Probably eating more shirtless. What food do you think you've eaten the most shirtless? I'm going to say it's probably pizza.
Popcorn.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, because it's so easy to make a bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And typically I'm not wearing clothes in the evening. So
maybe chips and salsa? Because I feel like it's summertime, the tarps are off.
I'm just trying to think. Now that I have kids, it's like if I eat popcorn, I'm probably watching something with them. But if I'm now shirtless and eating, everyone else has gone to bed, I'm probably still either peanut butter and jelly or pizza.
Pizza is high on the list.
Right, because it's like, I am high. I just want something to eat. There it is. I'm not putting on clothes for this. And I'm not sitting down. I am standing at the kitchen counter.
I've definitely woken up on like a Sunday morning, hungover, eating cold pizza shirtless, and gone back to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any risque clothes, Ted? I do not.
I mean, what's risque for a guy?
For you, that's what I'm saying. Is there such a thing for a guy?
When I went to this wedding down in Austin, the shorts I had on were
right.
I mean, you could see a lot of leg.
All right, but nothing else. I mean, just high thighs, right?
Yeah, probably booty shorts are probably the most risque thing I own. Because, I mean, like, again, you're a dude, so if you're shirtless, even if you're out of shape, it's just like, that's a shirtless dude.
Yeah. Okay. Razor Mass, what is the most risque clothing you own? Spirit Airlines, believe it or not, has tightened up its dress code for passengers. And they've included offensive tattoos, which are now on the forbidden list. But what constitutes offensive in the case of body art is not spelled out. So
Well, because it's purely subjective.
It's a gray area. Flyers can get booted off the plane if they are barefoot or inadequately clothed.
So they were letting people that were barefoot on the plane before?
Did you see the picture of Jennifer Lopez's dress that she was wearing over the weekend that was see-through?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Now, this is Jennifer Lopez. I do not believe that she's going to step on a Spirit Airlines flight. She probably
not.
has her own airplane and all that stuff. The difference is if she walks on the plane with that dress on, it's still Jennifer Lopez, whether you recognize her or not.
Sure.
This is a very attractive person that's wearing a see-through dress. Back to the subjective part of this.
Right.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now, though, but I think she's elegant and beautiful enough you let it go.
Okay.
Even Spirit Airlines with the new rules.
Right. You cannot expose a lot of breasts. You cannot expose buttocks or other private areas. Body art, if it's lewd, obscene, or offensive in nature, will also get you kicked off the airplane unless you cover up.
Well, the butt part I understand is you're sitting in a seat. Like, I don't care if your boobs are out. Your boobs have nothing to do with me, but if your sweaty ass is sitting on the seat, I'd prefer there is some coverage.
Mm-hmm. Now, Southwest, for instance, they do not allow clothing that is lewd, obscene, or patently offensive. Now, this is where I could get into trouble.
Okay.
Just based on shirts that I have that say certain things. That you're stupid. I mean, like 18-year-old stuff, but my daughter bought it for me for a birthday gift.
Right.
So I have a shirt that says, F you, you effing F.
Right. But would you wear that to the airport?
No.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you own it. Like, would you? I have some shirts, but I'm like, I'm not wearing this outside of the home.
I'm very selective on where I wear that shirt to.
Yeah.
Because you just got to know your audience. I don't want to go any place where, in other words, I'm not going to go any place where children are present.
Right.
So a bar. I mean,
yeah, bar, nobody cares.
Dive bar, that's fine. I mean, if I go to the 5 Point with that shirt on, I'm going to get high-fived by everybody that works there.
Yeah, of course.
Correct. But if
and three other people are going to have it.
But if I sit at the bar at the Better Daniels wearing that shirt, I'm not going to get the same look.
Sure.
So, yeah. Maybe I should try that.
Random.
That's why their phones. Okay. Mike, let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll reset the phone lines. If you are on hold, call back now. 206-803-ROCK.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
Marketers, are you ready to make an impact with audio advertising? People are hungry for authentic connections in a world buzzing all around us. How do you cut through the noise and truly reach your audience? Visit stateofaudio.com to see Odyssey State of Audio, the Trends Report. Uncover the secrets to high-impact creative. Learn how AI is revolutionizing the industry and get ahead of the curve on measurement and audience trends. Don't just stay in the game, win it. Visit stateofaudio.com and download your free copy.
Escape to paradise with a relaxing 6-night stay in the iconic islands of Tahiti and Moorea. Enjoy an all-inclusive nonstop flight to Tahiti from Seattle or Los Angeles on Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. From the vibrant cabins to the warm and welcoming crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. This dream getaway also includes beautiful accommodations, excursions, daily breakfast, all transfers, and more, starting at just $26.95 per person. Call 1-877-468-2448 to book yours today.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Plumbing backs up and things get stinky. Call Pinky's.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider, satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Your share at $5K a day. Just listen to the program for 1 hour on the Odyssey app or Odyssey.com. Sign in there if you're on Odyssey.com. You're probably already signed into the app. So 1 hour gives you a chance to win your share of $5K a day. In the meantime, it is our random question. Question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Wade. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hola.
Hola. What's up, Wade?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Hanging in there. Nice sunny day today.
Yes, it is. I mean, look, if it's going to be cold,
sunny.
Sunshine sure does help.
Oh, it's damn cold. Don't get that wrong.
Yeah, that is a fact. Okay, here we go, Wade. How about this one? As you get older, as you are older, what do you not tolerate anymore in your old age?
Oh boy. Okay, there's a long list there.
Okay.
I don't know. Screaming women and kids.
All right, that's fair.
Well, if you're a parent, you're immune to it because you're around it so often. You just kind of grow numb to it.
But once your kids at a certain, like my kids are old enough now that there's no screaming and yelling and all that 3 and 4 year old stuff, but I still don't hear it anymore if I'm in an enclosed place. Like the plane, there was a baby crying when we flew back last Friday. I know some people were getting pissed off about it on the plane. I'm like, I know the kid's screaming and crying, but because it's not having done it with your own kid, when it's not your problem, you do really kind of go deaf to it. Yeah. Like that is absolutely someone else's problem, and it ain't mine. Mm-hmm.
Well, and at home, too, that's why they make the volume button on that remote control for the TV.
Absolutely.
I don't typically watch stuff at a very high volume unless I'm watching a show that I've got or a movie. So if it's just whatever it is on television for whatever reason. But if I pick the show, even though I pick it anyway.
Yeah.
But if I pick the show on a streaming service, I sit down, I kind of dim the lights around the TV a little bit, like I try to make it more of a movie theater experience.
I always turned it up, and I realized my son's always like, why is it up so loud? And then I realized, you know what? Because I'm old and deaf. Mm-hmm. That's why. It's not loud to me, it is loud to you.
I keep mine about the same, but generally if I'm watching a Seahawks game or a big football game, I turn it up louder.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something about that.
Driving is one of those things where as I get older, I've a difficult time dealing with people sometimes. But it's just, and it's not even as much, God almighty, man. I had a whole day on Saturday where it seemed like no one used their turn signals.
I know.
So I did not, it just.
That drives me nuts.
Dude, just figure out where you're going, but at least turn the turn signal on if you think you're eventually going to make a right.
So you got to do. People will make room for you.
Or sometimes it's just, you feel like it's just like I had a day where I was just like, well, I guess it's just cut off Ted Day. Yeah. It happens like 2 or 3 times. You're just like, all right, I don't know what to do.
My thing is, especially on I-5, please just stay in your lane. There's so many people that just weave.
That little meander.
They weave back and forth. They're on the lines going like, dun, 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 dun. They don't even get over. Like, dude.
Or get off your phone at a stoplight. As we had to honk at the end of the express lanes. Light's green. They were there for about a good 15 seconds because part of us were like, let's see how long they can actually sit here and not pay attention. Finally honked and they took off. And it's like, get off your phone, man. You are not that important. You just are not.
Yeah. But things that shouldn't really aggravate me do aggravate me at times that are just not the biggest deal in the world. Completely first world problems like shower in this hotel room has no water pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Little things.
Dumb stuff like that. Well, the reason we asked as you get older, what did you not tolerate anymore? There was a thread about as I've gotten to the point where I can't stand it. Everyday frustrations that older adults refuse to tolerate as they age. And the number one is what Wade brought up. Just in general, loud noises.
Yeah, I mean, it's circumstantial. So, Ted, you can vouch for this. You go to the watering hole, and at a certain time, it's all of us older folks in there just pounding on beers, whatever, and it'll change over, say, 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, depending on the day of the week. And you realize, like, well, now I'm yelling to be heard. Everyone's yelling back at me. And I get it. They have a DJ, and people are having fun.
It was New Year's Eve.
And it's just...
and we were extremely the old people, because at 9:30, the DJ fired up.
Usually it doesn't start that early.
And Thrill's like, is it getting that loud in here? And I was like, yeah, man, the DJ started.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was starting. I'm just like, why is it so loud?
And to your credit, I think you and your wife left shortly after.
Yeah, because honest to God, it's not that we weren't having a good time, but I'm like, I'm just tired of screaming. Just have a conversation. I'm having a good conversation, but everyone's yelling. And I'm like, hey, that's
Dude, I did it Saturday, right? Me and a couple buddies were bumming around Capitol Hill. I haven't been out, I live there.
Yeah.
Haven't been out there in forever. But, by 9 o'clock, it was like...
Everywhere's loud, right?
Everywhere's loud. I felt like the old guy. I had stuff in the crock pot. I was like, I'm going home.
Yeah. Also, when you go, the older you get, when you go to a place that you shouldn't be in.
Sure.
As far as whatever time it is. I mean, it used to be that way in Fremont all the time. On a Friday or Saturday night, I would know when it's time to leave a bar because when that bouncer sets up outside...
That's typically about the time.
I've got about 15, 20 minutes to get out of there because I realize that the crowd is going to change dramatically and I am going to be hanging...
They need a bouncer.
...with my child's friends, essentially, as far as the age is concerned.
Yeah.
So I become then the oldest person in the bar. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I care, but I do.
On that level...
Because nobody wants to be the oldest person in a bar, especially on a Friday or Saturday.
No. Yeah. No. And I won't wait in lines anymore either. That's a long... if it's... Let's go to this place. If I see a line, I'm like, let's just go somewhere else, man. I'm not going to... Nothing is so good to me now that it's worth waiting in line. And it's funny, my wife, because she was guilty of this when she's younger, and she openly admits it, but we'll be driving somewhere and the clubs are starting to pick up and all the hot chicks are out there, except the temperature's about what it is now. And they just don't wear jackets. They have the arms folded tight. My wife's like, I used to do this all the time, man. I'm like 24 years old, and I would stand in 15-degree weather with my hands tucked under my armpits, wait in line for 20 minutes outside just to get into the club or the bar or whatever it is.
And never bring a coat.
Never bring a coat.
Some more of the things that everyday adults refuse to tolerate as they age, going out after I already got home. It is non-negotiable. If the bra has been removed already, forget it. I'm in for the night.
We had that conversation last week. We're like, it's just kind of tough. Like, look, man, it's not about what time I have to go out. So if you say on a Saturday, we're meeting at 10 p.m., it's not awesome, but I go, all right, because I haven't done anything else. But, like, if I get home from work, kick off and hanging out with the kids, and someone's like, dude, you want to go out? It's like 9:30. I'm like, no. Yeah. Man, my feet are up on the coffee table. I'm old. No, man.
Man, I'd have a tough time going out to something that starts at 10.
That's what I mean. Just like,
You almost have to have a hotel room near, or whatever the deal is.
Because Cass will hit you with that, because Cass will see so many local bands and stuff, and he's like, hey, man, our boy so-and-so's playing here. Do you want to go? And I'm always like, what time does it start? He's like, well, doors open at 9. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like,
for example.
I don't know why I explained it to you, but if it's Friday night, or if I'm already out on a Saturday evening,
sure.
Cool. But you're right. If I'm not doing anything and I'm supposed to meet you at 10 p.m., more than likely at some point I'm going to cancel.
You told me that you stopped by the bar Saturday because you were already out. You were already out and we're having a good night, and it's on the way. You said, what the hell? But if I had called you and said, hey, man, and so that was our challenge Friday night. The reason this all timed out, Ted, was my wife ended up volunteering at the school for something she had not planned on doing. We planned on going out that night, and the guy's band started at 9. I'm like, all right, well, we have this on the calendar. It's fine. Well, me and the daughter are hanging out at home. It's just the two of us, watching the TV show Goosebumps, eating popcorn. We are under a blanket. I am comfortable, but I know that when my wife gets home, which ended up being about 10:30, we're going to go to a different bar to watch this guy's band. And we did it. And it was actually kind of nice, kind of cool. And I'm ripping down Jack's, drinking beer. And then everyone from there, we know from another bar, and they're like, hey, we're all going to head back to the watering hole. We kind of looked at each other like,
no.
Yeah, it's midnight. I'm going to go home, man.
Right, so I was all the way down, not all the way, but I was down like Bonnie Lake. So I couldn't, I had a couple beers, but I couldn't really drink because I had to drive back.
Yeah.
So then it was like midnight, and I was close to our watering hole, so I was like, well, I could pop in now.
Now, sure, you're right. If it's late and we're close to the water, if you ever see me in our watering hole late, we're coming from somewhere, and it's like, let's get one more for the road home.
Correct. But if you had texted me at 11:30 and been like, hey, we're heading to the bar, I would have been like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Stuff that older adults refuse to tolerate as they age. Wearing clothes that are uncomfortable for the sake of fashion.
Yeah.
My tolerance for cute but painful shoes, itchy fabric, annoying tags has gone way down. Also, now that I've discovered they make dresses, skirts, and women's pants that actually have real pockets,
yes,
I can't go back to the SE fake ones that barely hold a credit card.
Mike, how many times are you asked to hold your wife's stuff? Because they have, it's not that they don't fit in my pockets, it's that women buy clothing that does not have pockets.
No, it's not necessarily that, but it is every time that we go out. It's just my wife, everything she does is a production. So everything required, like we will go to the store or something like that, and she will have a legit bag of stuff that she has to take with her. Just, it's got her water in it. It's got all sorts of, like a change of frickin' clothes is in there, for heaven's sake. And so, yeah, when we're walking around, I need to carry her phone and her wallet at some point.
I have my wife's phone and her keys more often than not. And again, because none of her clothing seems to have pockets, which maybe it's just a guy thing, but I think that's insane. And then, in spite of the fact that you need your phone and your keys, you refuse to bring a clutch.
Right.
Larger. So I'm like, your clutch is a oversized wallet.
And the problem is that her jacket pockets are stuffed. She'll
Right.
wear a jacket because she's cold everywhere that she goes. So she has a jacket that she puts on, and those pockets are stuffed to the brim. I have no idea what's in there.
But not your keys or your
I'm
wallet.
carrying her phone and her keys.
Right. Another says stuff over substance. Material things matter a lot less. It's all about, for me, experiences, relationships, and functionality. Tired of as I get older. Working.
Well, that's fair.
Especially after COVID. I think a lot of people kind of just checked out.
Oh, God,
In
yeah.
general, if they could work at home. Drama. Seriously, I had to walk away from a friend group because they would not stop with the drama. Every 6 months, like clockwork, we'd be picking who was kicked out of the friend group over some minor thing. Once that would die down, we'd get like a quiet 2 or 3 months before the next made-up drama started. I'm too old for this S. Just want to have a nice time with my friends. How hard is that? Another person says, buying new things. I used to love spending money on shiny new S when I was younger. Now I just want things that are functional and will last a long time. I agree with lasting a long time.
Yes.
I think if you're going to buy something, it's okay to spend a little bit more money to make sure that you get quality so that you don't have to continually buy things that just don't. It's not that they don't matter to you, like a good vacuum cleaner.
I was going to say, vacuum cleaner was my first foray into, hey, we're going to spend what I believe to be an absurd amount of money on a vacuum cleaner because it's not something you hold near and dear to your heart.
Right.
But
you don't want to buy it again.
I have not had to replace it.
Yeah.
As opposed to spending like $120 every 6 months. I'm like, babe, when we add this up over a period of 5 years, if we just spend this much money now, we don't need a new vacuum.
I wouldn't blink twice about buying and I have a decent grill. Don't get me wrong, but if I went to buy a grill, I'm buying a nice one.
But it's
Yeah,
worth it.
I'm going to buy one that hopefully won't weather out and will be around for at least 8 years if I can help it.
You know where they get you? I'm telling you, man, kitchen appliances, right? So,
well, you can buy quality stuff there too.
You can, and it's an exorbitant fee. And when we redid the kitchen, because you're already in the hole paying for the scrap, we got the really good stuff, lifetime warranty, and all the rest of the scrap. Before that, we had gone through 2 refrigerators. I won't bother to say the respective companies, but they advertise on TV telling you about all this crap. They're absolute garbage. Meanwhile, the house that we bought, in the basement, there's a refrigerator original to the house. The refrigerator is time itself. You will have loved ones die before this refrigerator. It's from 1979, and it's
Solid
still
state.
It keeps things colder than anything else in the house. You could shoot this thing; it will not die.
Let's see. Abrasive people, I just try to cut them out of my life. I think you cut out a lot of people in your life.
Yeah,
just based on experiences, where they are. Maybe you just kind of moved apart or whatever the deal is. But there's going to be some stuff when you hang out with them.
Yeah, you just don't do it.
So I try my best to avoid those people, especially when they email me and ask me if they can stay in my house for a few days. Alcohol is something that I don't nearly do as much.
I don't do as much, but I still do plenty.
Arguing with strangers online.
Yeah.
Social media. I can't take it. I try to mute posts, scroll past them, unfriend people who posted it. I did that during the election, to be honest with you. I was on Instagram.
Yeah.
And if someone were to post something about Biden or someone were to post something about Trump, I just look, I'm on Instagram. I'm looking at pictures.
Right.
I'm trying to see what my friends and family are doing when they're out doing their thing. This is not the place, and I don't care what political side you're on. That's just not where I want to see it. I see that enough reading the news every day.
Right.
So this is kind of my escapism.
And vote.
And since I got hacked past weekend, I'm just like, the hell with it. I'm not even going to start a new Instagram account. Let's see. Going to bars until 1 a.m. Give me a happy hour deal with the guys anytime. I'd rather get home early, still have fun, but not be out all night.
Yeah, I'd definitely change my tune on that one.
What else? Wearing makeup. I used to put on a full face of makeup every single day, then COVID hit. And since I worked in healthcare, I had to wear the full gown, mask, shield every day for 8 hours. So I quit wearing anything but an eyebrow pencil and a little mascara. Now to the point where I only wear a full face for really special events. Because honestly,
I'm a clown at a kid's birthday party.
I don't care what people think how I look anymore. Another one says, children. They're noisy, sticky little disease machines.
They are exactly that.
I kept being told the older I got, the more I'd want kids because of biology. But my biology has been steering me further and further from kids every single day.
Don't tell someone what they're going to want when they get older. You don't know.
Yeah. Another person says, as far as getting older, what I can't tolerate anymore, flying. When I was younger, I always loved it, looked forward to it. It was one of those things where I knew I was going to get away. Now, even though I know I'm going to get away, I can't stand it. Every part of it sucks, and it keeps getting worse. I'd honestly rather drive long distances than sometimes get in an airplane.
It does kind of suck.
And another person says winter. I just hate the cold and the fact that it feels like I'm permanently dark. I know we get daylight, but when I'm at work when that happens. The older I get, the worse it is.
We got a couple of
I was going to say, the flying thing is this. Like, you recognize for how easy it is, the amount of time it saves
convenience.
But I'm with you. I absolutely despise it.
Yeah, the experience sucks. But again, it's just a Greyhound with wings now, right? You're not getting decks of cards and peanuts. There's nothing complimentary. Getting nickeled and dimed on everything. It is what it is, but long story short, yeah, we know, but we're going to get you there faster. If you can find a faster way to do it. One text says, I'm 36. I've only bought dresses with pockets for the last 4 years. Ain't nobody got time for fake pockets anymore. That's the other question I was going to ask. Why did they create fake pockets? Like, if it has a pocket, just make it a pocket. If it does not have pockets, then don't act like it has pockets. That made no sense to me. It pissed me off. And then somebody here, I like this. If there's no on-site parking, I'm probably not going.
That's a tough one.
It is. It is. But a lot of times you don't find out until you get to your location. Like, God damn it, man. You know what irritates me? And again, it's the old man thing. I just want parking meters where I can just get. I'm trying to give you money. I have never understood why any company on this planet tries to make it difficult for you to pay them. Like, I don't mind paying for my parking, but you mind taking my money. Well, can it just be on the house? Or give me an option instead of doing your QR code or downloading your app, because I freaking hate apps. I should at least have the alternative to use a credit card to put in cash, right? Yeah. Like, if you don't want to download more crap to your phone that people hack into and all the rest of this garbage, I'll just put your credit card here or slide the cash, and I'm good.
No, if there's a concert down at the stadium or if there is a Seahawks game, I am on the bus one way at least 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get, I know parking's going to be $80 to $100 to park by the stadiums.
Correct.
So
Uber, of course, is going to charge more on these days.
And what I'll do is I will take a bus down there because the bus drops you off at the stadium, and then on the way out, I will start migrating my ass through Pioneer Square and get as close up to work here as possible, and then Ubering as far away from that location as possible so that I can just ensure that I can get one. And typically what I'll do is I will get the Uber over here by our building, by the express lanes.
Oh, yeah. Got to tell them, though.
So when they get there, man, I am just shooting straight home and trying to make it as easy as possible because, I just don't want to deal with it.
I'm very much there. Somebody here says, I'm now the old man yelling at people who drive too fast on my street. I think that inevitably happens. And someone says, camping no more. Nice hotel all day.
I am right there with you. People love camping. Just to go sit by a river that's 5 feet away from a major interstate, and they will set up camp, and they will have a lot better situation than I would ever have. But the idea of spending the night in a tent, depending on the situation, in the summertime when you ideally want to go, it gets hot in there. In the wintertime, I don't like winter camping. For me, I just want to take a shower. I want to be able to just brush my teeth. For whatever reason, I camped enough as a kid. I lived outside for summers at a time, a Boy Scout camp in a tent. Just done with the tent lifestyle. Because I know it's going to rain eventually.
Look, man,
whatever I plan for, it's not going to work.
I was homeless, so I don't understand the need to want to recreate that. You're just doing it in the woods. I'm like, okay, this is what it'd be like to be homeless in the woods. At least in the city. There's possibility of getting food, or I could find shelter somewhere. That's just my position.
I would do the RV lifestyle. If we had a camper, I'm in.
If you got a shower.
I think those are cool. For some reason, I just give that the excuse, like, yeah, man, we got an RV, we got a camper. It's going to be great.
I think some people just like going outdoors, too, and it's cheaper.
It's definitely one of the cheapest
like having
things
an RV or this or that. And, I don't know, it is kind of nice waking up next to a river. Like, you can have a fire in the backyard, but making s'mores on a campfire is different.
Yeah. Somebody here says taking shots. That's a young person's game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What are you, 70?
I won't do shooters, but I do like shots.
I'll do shooters if they pass them around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to order one, but if somebody brings out a trailer.
My wife always gets my shooters. If
yeah.
they do the big every time Jello shots are brought her way, I'm like, that's all my wife. Just give me Jack.
More of the random question coming up, 206-803.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, Sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
What is Dax, are you?
Tracking all our cars on Carvana Value Tracker on all our devices? Yes, Kristen, yes, I am.
Well, I've been looking for my phone for...
In Dax's domain, we see all. So we always know what our cars are worth.
All of them?
All of them. Value surge, trucks up 3.9%.
That's a great offer.
I know. Sell?
Sell.
Track your car's value with Carvana Value Tracker today.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Rock 99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
America's favorite sandwiches and the NFL's greatest quarterbacks. Coming up with your guess is as good as mine at 4:30. In the meantime, it is our random question 206-803-ROCK. Hello, Kurt. Welcome to the men's room.
Random. Chicas.
Hola. Kurt, how are you? Welcome to the random question. Let's see here.
Let's get random.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay. Growing up,
all right,
who was the cool adult? Whether that was a relative, an uncle, your neighbor, just somebody, maybe a friend of the family, but they were always the cool adult. The kind of person that, you know, it's not that you don't look up to your parents, it's just different when they're not your parents.
Yeah. That would be my Aunt Carla.
Okay. What made Aunt Carla cool?
Well, she taught me how to play cards and a little bit of chess. So, yeah, she was just like the fun aunt to be around. And may have saved my life as well.
How's that?
I got hit in the middle of the head with a baseball bat playing soccer with, or playing hockey with a soccer ball and aluminum baseball bats. And so.
How old were you?
That's a good question. I think I was about 8.
You don't remember because you got hit in the head.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. My whole head swelled up, looked like a raccoon. The other kids in the neighborhood they treated me like I had, leprosy or something. So it was,
kids just get scared. You know, they
Oh, for sure.
They just tend to run away when
yeah.
bad things happen because they don't want to get blamed for anything.
That is exactly
Well, but they're also looking at me and thinking that I'm diseased or something. It's like, no, I got hit in the nose with a baseball bat. So, but anyway, yeah, Aunt Carla was the cool one.
I had a cool aunt, too.
Is she still around, Aunt Carla?
I think so. She's been going through some rough times, unfortunately, and I can't connect with her. Her oldest, well, not oldest, her son just died of cancer.
Oh, damn.
Her other son committed suicide 4 years ago, and so it's like, it's really a dichotomy if you think about it, that she had that much energy and vibrance and everything, and then has to go through all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my heart goes out to her, but she was my favorite. She was the cool one.
Okay.
She was,
Well, I can tell you this: my neighbor Bill Simler, growing up, all right, he had a pool in his backyard, free access.
Right.
Anytime
Nice.
I wanted to go, and he had to work during the day. So in the summertime, when you're not going to school, or whatever, I could go over there and get into his pool, and I'd spend the entire day at his pool. He would leave the slider door open downstairs. He had a kegerator down there, and his rule was one beer.
Yeah.
One beer. That's it. You can have one beer during the day while you're out there. I don't want you to drown. Your friends cannot know about this. If
Of
you
course.
have other friends come over, you are not all getting a beer. It's just when you are over there on your own, you're going to get a beer. Bill also, he distributed all the magazines and newspapers to the town that I lived in growing up in the county. That means he filled all the racks at the Walgreens, your QFCs of the world.
Right.
They had magazine sections and all that. The newspaper store downtown, the magazine store, he owned that. But you have to remember, when new issues of something come out, whether it's monthly, weekly, or whatever the deal is. All right, Time Magazine used to be a weekly publication.
Right.
After that week is over with, they no longer sell that publication. So there's a new one. So what they would do was they would cut off the front cover of the magazine and just the name, just the top part.
Right.
And they would send that back, and then they would get reimbursed for those magazines that did not sell. He also had the biggest porn in his newspaper shop. The biggest, like, you went into a different room.
Yeah, of course.
These were also on a monthly basis. Some were on a tri-month. Either way, when he got done with it, once he cut that top off, Swank, and he kept the name and sent it back, it was free. He did not care.
Not his problem.
What we took. He had to dispose of that at the dump one way or another. So he would give us any mag. So I read Sports Illustrated growing up as a kid, and not one of them had a cover on it.
They never had a cover.
They were all a week old. All right. But I could go over there and get, anything I want. What was the baseball newspaper back in the day? There was an extensive, kind of like a folded magazine.
My brother used to get it, and I cannot remember the
Sporting
name.
News.
Yeah, something like
Sporting
that.
News.
Yeah.
Sporting News.
But just all this weird stuff. Like, even if you're like motorcycle magazines. Just, I mean, if you wanted to just get into whatever you wanted to get into, it was just, I would come home with a stack this big of the new National Geographic, just things that Mad Magazine, Crack Magazine, all those different things. And he would hire me to do some side jobs. And then when I got to be in high school, my stepfather wasn't real keen on buying me a car because he wanted me to earn enough money to buy said car. Of
course.
I think I had $300, so I did buy a car. That car was good for about 2 weeks before it blew up.
Yeah.
So I'm starting again from square one, trying to buy another car. In that meantime, I had a girlfriend, and Bill had an extra car. And he was like, look, you put gas in that car, Friday, Saturday nights. If you want to go out on a date, you cannot go out with your friends.
Right.
This is not for you to drive around with your idiot friends, because he knew every single one of them. This is for you to go on a date if you want to. And tried and true, for the couple of years that I could drive in high school, if I had a date, I could say, Bill, can I borrow your Subaru, whatever, station wagon?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was wheels, and it got me there. And then he had a 300ZX.
Did he ever let you borrow that?
That was his wife's car. That was what
Okay.
she wanted to. But on my prom night, I was allowed to take that car and go
All
to
right.
prom in that car. So as far as like being just a cool adult, like he was the guy that was, right next door. If I ever needed anything, I could go over and ask him, and he would never rat to my parents about anything.
Sure.
It was never, he would just be, like, he found a condom in his car one time. And he never told my parents about it. He
Yeah.
was just cool about it. He's like, okay, guess what you're going to do this weekend? You're going to detail my car.
Yeah, right.
I think
That's
sometimes,
right.
too, it doesn't even have to be like family, right? Like, I had a guy that coached me, right? You guys met him, Pat Prada. Then as I got older, like, he was a DeMatha guy, I was a DeMatha guy. Like, I'd babysit his kids sometimes, but same thing. Like, got to a certain age. Like, I remember going to I don't know if it was prom or like a homecoming. And Pat and his wife, we were just going to like a TGI Fridays or whatever. And he randomly called me earlier that day and was like, you going to the dance? I said, yeah, coach. Good for you. Blah, blah, blah. So then we go. I mean, it's, 10 people, whatever. You're kids. So, I mean, you're teenagers. It's not a big bill. And then the waitress comes over and it's like, it's paid for. And we're like, it's paid for? And there was Pat and his wife. They were just sitting at the bar, basically drinking, waiting for us to get there so they could pay the bill.
Nice.
And
That
just,
is very cool.
just stuff like that.
Yeah, I moved too much for that to happen, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I also
I
find
had a
it fun-
great aunt. And it's funny because she went from, she's still my favorite aunt, but now she is my kid's favorite aunt. I cannot explain it, man. She just brings the life to the party, so to speak. So if we say, hey, man, you're going to see Tia, which is Spanish for aunt, that's what they call her. Don't know why. But if I just mention her name, the kids light up. They are so happy to see her. But the same kind of thing where I'm sure there's a million things she never shared with my parents, which is probably for the better. She won't let me forget it. She still calls me Stephen Gregory. That's all she ever calls me. And she is a real cool chick, but like no nonsense, never cusses. She's the one that she went through breast cancer, right? And it sucked. Because like our caller said, it seems like the most decent people go through the worst. So she went through breast cancer, went through remission, it came back, all this stuff. So finally, she beats breast cancer, but she's like, look, man, I still want boobs because she got a double mastectomy. So she gets boobs put in. And she's always been a member of her church. Always been a member of the same church, whatever. So she had called the preacher or priest, whatever, to say, hey, I'm not going to be there this week. I'm still dealing with my recovery. She's playing that card. The truth is, she had new boobs, and as she said, I dressed like a hoochie mama, that's her quote, and flew to Vegas. So she's in Vegas, she goes there solo, and she's like, I am walking down the strip, and she's doing everything I can just to kind of shake my boobs, because she's like, I want men to notice. And then I hear this voice say, Sister Brown. And I turned around, and there's the preacher with the congregation. They're there. Oh, yeah. She's like, they were there for something, man. She's like, it was such a bad moment. She's like, I'm just dressed like a hoochie mama, and the preacher's looking at me going, Sister Brown.
You know what? He didn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
You seem to have made a strong recovery. She's like, I sure did. Thank you, guys.
Coaches that were cool, that treated you like a human being. I mean, they would kick your ass. But
Of course.
They, I mean, like a drill sergeant. But when it came time to not being in that situation where they weren't actively coaching you, couldn't be better guys, didn't want to, they would bend over backwards to help you out. Of
course.
Any way they could. But if you effed up as a member of their team, forget about it. I mean, you're going to pay the price then, but when that's all said and done, you learned your lesson. That's all it was then.
Yeah, once you pay your debt, it should be done.
Right. And as far as radio, I started in radio when I was 16, 17 years old. There were groups of guys that really wanted to help.
Yeah.
They really wanted you to learn. They really wanted you to be interested in what you were doing. And a lot of the times, I can look back now, typically in radio, when you're on the air, you have a stack of production to do. Production is the commercials and everything you do in between. So, whether it's the latest Safeway ad or whatever people are running, you update those. And they would get these giant stacks of production that they would be needing to do at the end of every shift. And, Jim Stallings would say, hey, do you want to learn how to do this? You're going to do my production. I will voice it. But you are going to put everything together. You're going to learn how to do all these different things, and I will take the time to be over your shoulder. I'm going to physically be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you out. I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff. I'll do this one. You do these 3 or 4 over here, and just learning how to do different things and use different equipment. And I don't know anymore, mentoring wise, how prevalent that is in a lot of industries. But at that point in time, it was pretty refreshing, and it was.
I don't know because it's been so long, and I was in that respect. Because when I got in the radio,
basically you're an apprentice,
right? But I told them what I wanted to do. So certain things, I'm like, I'm not interested in that. I'm not going to do. I got one focus, and we're pretty much doing that show now, right? But I'm like, that's it. It's the only reason I do radio. I don't get the other stuff. So not everybody wants to hear that. And a lot of guys hated me for that, and I'm okay with that. But there was one guy who immediately said, man, I like where your head is, Drep.
Yeah.
So he said, look, you're going to stay after hours, and we're going to cut some crap. But it's like, if you're going to do it,
you got to learn.
Then you're going to do it, man. And the other guy's a guy who inevitably kind of got us the gig here. It's just that he was not cool the entire time we knew him. All we did was get in trouble. We just didn't realize how much he had our back at the time because he's always screaming at us. And then one day kind of hit us like, oh, he must have liked us. A, that's why he didn't fire us. B, that's why he kind of let us do pretty much what we wanted to do, right? He would reel us in, but at the time you don't know it. Now when we see this guy and he talks, he's like, oh, I always loved you guys. He's like, it's hard to be your boss, but he's like, I really enjoyed what you guys were doing. I liked what you guys wanted to do. I liked the direction you were going. I said, but you never said that. He's like, no, because you were going to do it anyway. It's like, I didn't have to encourage you to do what you were going to do because you guys are built that way.
And as far as that show goes that we did, it was much worse than what you're listening to right now.
Oh, God. Well, yeah,
we were younger. We were much more immature. So we were taking chances, but at that time when CBS was doing those stations,
but it didn't feel like chance.
That had Opie and Anthony, and then we came on after Howard
Dynamite,
Stern. And,
it was hot talk for guys.
Tom Likas could go on and call women bitches, and no one cared. I mean, some people cared, but I mean that was just kind of the mantra. So we were on that because we got an email about it the other day, and I wrote this guy back. I was like, look, man, the things that we did back then would be cringeworthy to me now as far as...
We would be fired.
As far as how things have evolved. And you listen to Howard now. He has evolved as someone who used to do... He would never do the lesbian dating game ever again.
Right.
He would never do a lot of the things that he used to do. Just as you get older, your interests change, and you don't go for the low-hanging fruit.
Right.
As much. But back then...
As much, yes.
I mean, but back then, man, I mean, that was kind of the... We were really having a pretty good time in the topics, not all the time.
Not all the time, but the way we would treat anything, And, right, looking back, I'm like, my God, I cannot believe we got away with that. But we weren't trying to. It's who we were.
Right.
I mean, legitimately. That's what the one guy who says, look, I kind of got to the gig here is like, you guys were never putting on an act. It's like, that's what made you guys so dangerous. You were reckless by nature. Not because you're trying to push buttons, you just legitimately did not care. I said, for the most part, I still don't, man.
We did a Sunday NFL show. We just got hammered the entire time because they asked us if we wanted to do it. And we said no. We said, are you going to pay us? And they said no. So we determined that since NFL football's on, we're at Jillian's, we're going to get drunk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And talk
did
about,
not care.
And talk about football. We did zero research.
Right.
Absolutely zero research. We just sat there and spitballed about what we thought. Just like last week when I said, man, Bills Commanders. I mean, absolutely nothing remotely close to
it's not
any
that hard
idea
to
knowing
chat
what you're talking
football.
about.
It's not, man, because even the experts don't know.
But we had a boss that would come in on his day off and stand behind us at the broadcast area just to make sure that we did not drink and get so hammered.
But we got hammered anyway.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there was a guy from CBS Sportsline back in the day, and he was driving through the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area, and he was writing about just sports talk radio, and he happened to fall on our show. I don't know if I think he probably thought he was listening to sports talk radio, because we were leading into the games.
Right, we're leading into
all those different things. He said the guys, and I can't remember what it was, but the guys had some insights that I thought were pretty good, but golly, were they hammered.
Yeah, it's like clearly inebriated.
Clearly inebriated.
That was his exact
clearly
quote.
Inebriated.
But had some fine points about the game of football.
Yeah.
I thought, both of those things were true.
Reason we asked growing up, who was the cool adult? Everyone has heard stories about bad teachers who have crossed the line with students. This takes that to another level. An elementary school principal.
Oh, boy.
In Cocoa Beach, Florida, near Cape Canaveral, has been arrested after throwing a massive rager last Sunday night. Apparently, the guests included an elementary school teacher and more than 100 students.
Wait,
wow.
Not
in elementary school necessarily, but she was the elementary principal and teacher at the time. There was a lot of booze. The authorities say one minor was arrested for DUI after leaving the party. Another had to be treated by EMTs when they suffered an alcohol-related medical event on the principal's front lawn. The principal does not have any regrets. In fact, when she saw the lights flashing out front, she turned off all the outdoor lights and forced the EMTs to treat the kid using only their truck's headlights because she didn't want to disturb the neighbors.
You got to be kidding me.
Now, the principal is charged with child neglect, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and holding an open house party. The teacher was hit with similar charges. Both have been placed on administrative leave. Aren't any details in the age or condition of the kid who suffered the episode on the front lawn. But
Dude, I told you, my brother, right, like, he doesn't coach or teach those kids anymore. But just because he's an administrator in that district, I mean, it's fine now, as my niece and nephew are both over 21. But, like, if Maddie and her friends were having a drink, he'd be like, all right, I'm going to go inside.
Right.
right? Or, he's like, I'm not doing beer bong. You know what I mean? It's like, and I remember the one girl, she was like, well, I'm 20. My parents know I'm here. They know I'm having, he's like,
it's not legal.
But I work in this district. Like, I taught you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not doing it. So for that lady, like, that's just insanity to me to be that, like, I'm going to invite over former students who are still underage. Once you get to a certain age, it's fine. And that's kind of the rule with Tamatha, right? Like, you get to be about 21. Once you're over 21,
sure, it's legal.
A lot of those teachers I'm still friends with. Like, we literally will get lunch and beers every time I'm back there.
Right.
But I can't imagine them at 18 being like, Ted, come on over.
No. I mean, just to protect yourself, if nothing else.
Who are you guys allowed to drink around before you were legally allowed to drink? I mean, look, we all drank and snuck it with our friends. And
Right.
when you move out at 18, 19 years old, or however are you, there's an understanding that you're going to find a way to get beer. Someone's going to buy
my one
some.
buddy's mother, Tony's mom. Not all of us. Like, I was cool to drink with Tony. Guy named Paul was cool to drink with Tony. And Leon, you just accepted that he was going to be drinking if he was around Tony. But we either had to be at her house. But she knew if we went out, we're probably drinking. But and Tony, he was our designated driver, right?
Yep.
Not because he was sober, but because he had a car. Because that's how it works at that age. But she's like, I will drive you guys where you were going. You got to find your own way home, though. And you need to be done by X time. She never rolled over on anyone or anyone like that. And like Tony's the guy that drank blueberry schnapps and 7-Up, for Christ's sake. So seriously, dude, I swear to God. And even to this day, he still would. So if that's your kid, you don't see them as like drinking heavy because you're drinking some bitch ass drinks in the first place. But she thought we were all drinking that, and we let her believe that. Right. It's like, no, that's your son drinking that stuff, man. We were drinking beer, we're drinking whiskey, and granted, at that time, it's all the cheap stuff. She knew, but she was cool about it, kept it hush-hush. But with that in mind, anytime that we knew we were, quote-unquote, on her watch, we never got crazy. Right. And that's the whole thing. She knew you'd be a little drunk, and then you pass out. But
yeah, my family, if it was a family function, and you were, I don't know, 16 or whatever, people would sneak in a drink, and then, like, I had some friends would come over, and my mom didn't really care, but it was the same rule, like, she knew we probably had a 12-pack between three of us, but we weren't allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Right? You had to stay there. And then I had another buddy, Brendan, same thing. Like, his parents would let us hang out down there. I'm pretty sure they knew we had, like, that's like when you would have a bottle of Jack and mix it with lemonade or something just awful. But same thing. There was a basement in that house, and we would go down to the basement, and his dad was basically like, I'm not going to bug you guys, but I do not want to see you up here. Like, if you want a bag of chips, take them down. Because, like, basically him and his wife wanted to watch a movie and, like, don't bug us.
Yeah. My buddy Pat's neighbor, he was a Marine. And, when you think about a Marine, you think about a guy that has about the lifespan of an NFL football player as far as being active and being a Marine, right? He was a lifer. So he seemed a lot older to me, but he would still get called, and he would be gone for months at a time. So when he came back, he had a deck out back. He had a boombox. This is 87, 86. Right. He was always listening to what we thought was the coolest music in the world. Loved Bad Company.
All right.
He loved the Eagles. He loved, like all these, just Boston, Kansas, REO Speedway.
He's the man.
He was the guy who was in there. Hey, man, you ever heard of 38 Special? Right. He was the guy that was, here's Molly Hatchet, man. Check this stuff out. But he would let you drink beer, and he was big into Kentucky bourbon, so he always had a bottle of Old Forester or a bottle of Forester or Old Granddad, one of those two, and we would try to sip it and drink it.
Could you even handle it then?
I mean, that stuff was 100 proof. And so we were just fine sipping on beers. But his rules, like he knew we were all staying at Pat's house because we would only drink if we could stay in Pat's basement.
Yeah.
So it had to be a sleepover. I couldn't go back home smelling like.
Oh yeah,
correct. That was like the basement rule.
Smelling like beer or whatever. But his thing was he'd always sit you down. He'd say, if I ever find out that you are smoking grass, you will never come to my house again. Oh. You will never. He considered marijuana like you would consider OxyContin or heroin. Like it was in the same family.
My mom was the same way. She'd let us drink in that base, but one friend I remember brought over weed, and he was banished from our house.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was strict about it. I mean, like if I ever even
that's for hippies, Miles.
If I ever catch even a scent of it floating into my yard, if I find out
Oh, yeah.
Any of you start going down that dirty road.
that dirt path to
He
hell.
is just ripping cigarettes.
Gateway drug,
He's
baby.
ripping cigarettes one after the other.
Right, drinking whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. You're throwing
Don't
beers,
be stupid.
Throwing beers at us, teaching us how to shotgun beers by biting the can.
Right.
All the things, I'm dead serious. But yeah, if I find out you're smoking that grass, never invited to my house again. Your guess is as good as mine. Cut up the categories: America's favorite sandwiches and the NFL's greatest quarterbacks. And we got your emails coming up next to the men's room at KISW.com.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Dreaming of a 6-night getaway to paradise? Escape to the islands of Tahiti and Moorea with Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. This all-inclusive vacation package is designed to take you to a tropical haven, starting with non-stop flights from Los Angeles or Seattle to Tahiti. From the vibrant cabins to the warmth of our Polynesian crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your package includes luxurious hotel stays, ensuring that your experience is as comfortable as it is enchanting. Start each day with a delicious Polynesian breakfast, enjoy exciting excursions that showcase the beauty and culture of the islands, and take advantage of convenient transfers that make your trip seamless from start to finish. All of this begins at just $26.95 per person. Whether you're looking to explore crystal clear waters, unwind on pristine beaches, or immerse yourself in rich Polynesian culture, Tahiti and Moorea offer endless possibilities for both adventure and relaxation. Call 1-877-468-2448 now to book your Tahiti and Moorea escape.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Plumbing backs up and things get stinky. Call Pinky's.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Your guess is as good as mine. Cut up our categories. Today we have America's favorite sandwiches and the NFL's greatest QBs. That is on the way at 4:30. But first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Couple of birthdays, guys. It's my roomie's birthday today. Nancy likes gnomes and margaritas. Has the captain ever been with any margarita drinking gnomes before? Happy birthday from Boo.
Oh, come on. You know he has.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. It's funny you say that, Ted. But only one, you know, from the Expedia ads. And all you need to know about him is not so much that he traveled for Expedia as we would get blind drunk on margaritas and wake up in a different town each day. And then finally he said, you know what? I ought to keep a log of everywhere we go, pitch this to Expedia, and see if these idiots will pay me money to keep getting drunk on margaritas. Well, his career took off, and he left me in the dust, but we still communicate on Facebook from time to time. I can't tell you where he is right now, mostly because his jail phone call cut out before I could get to ask him that question. Crunch berries.
Did his little gnome top end up anywhere?
If you're speaking anatomically, yes.
I am.
Then yes.
Thanks, Captain.
Guys, happy birthday to my dad, Tony. He is 56 today. Can he get the dirty Germans talking about the perks of being 56 and some dad jokes for Miles? Thanks, guys. That from Eddie.
Yeah, as I'm only 55, I can only guess the perks of turning 56, but I will find out in about 6 weeks. But I believe some of the perks are the birthday mouth hug.
Yeah. So you figure by the time you're 56, like maybe the kids are out of the house, so enjoy it on the couch.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, the kids are still in the house, so probably the guest bedroom.
Let's spice it up, honey. Let's go to the guest bedroom.
All right. Couple dad jokes. A basketball rolls into a bar. The bartender asks, "What do you have to drink?" Basketball says, "Nothing. I'm here to apply for the bouncer position." All right. Oh, Ted, I found a great place to order sausages.
Oh, yeah?
I'll send you a link.
Thanks, dude.
What else we got? Ooh, Ted, I know you don't know Star Wars, but what award did Chewbacca win?
Hairiest.
Wookiee of the Year.
That should not make me laugh, but it's that easy.
You'll like this one. What do you call a wreath of $100 bills? A wreath of $100 bills.
It's a wreath, of Franklin's.
A wreath of Franklin.
All right. You're right, I do like that.
What do you call a strip club that went out of business? Strip club that went out of business.
What?
Clothed.
Clothed.
Yeah. And one for you, Ted. What did the chicken see? What did the chicken see?
Another chicken?
Czar salad. Chicken sees our salad.
Tell you what, I know it's a dad joke, but that Gettysburg Address still got me dying laughing.
Did you break it out over the weekend?
Well, you were on the plane. I think I sent it to our group thread here at work, but like I told my buddy Rob about it. We were dying laughing. Then we stopped at a rest area. Or like a truck stop.
Yeah.
And they had that Yeti in there. And I was like, yeah, let's get a picture with the Yeti.
For real? With the Gettysburg Address?
Yeah.
Birthday shout out Liquor and Horse, guys. Today I turned 62. Oh, my God. Still kicking. Please give me a crazy fart, because, well, farts are funny. And the naughty Germans on Fun Times with a 62-year-old lady. Can't wait to meet you guys on the 7th. I'll be at the Men's Room Lager Launch Party at Black Raven Brewing in Woodinville. That is Saturday, February the 7th. Thanks, guys, for all the fun. That from Burn Up.
Yeah, with a name like Burnout, sounds like a description of how you'll feel after a good night. All the fun times with the 62-year-old lady. Listen, when she is 62 years old, she will know what she wants. Hopefully this is what you want too, but I'll tell you right now, what she really wants is a black German.
Yeah, it's a fun thing with the women's that age, as I always say, before you perform that act, you take out the teeth.
Yeah, but the one she was downstairs.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Think about it. If we could, let's get a kid tested on the line now. For your guess is as good as mine, 206-803-ROCK. In the meantime, we've got some updated locations for our beers. Oh, I hit the wrong name.
I said that is not beer music.
Where's the beer music? Beer music.
Ah, there it is.
It says right there, beer music. Men's Room IPA. I finally found the new Men's Room IPA by Black Raven Brewing. It's absolutely delicious, guys. Found it at Total Wine and More in Tacoma.
All right.
Cheers, that from Tyson. You're a fan of that place? Total Wine and More?
Look, my wife first told me about it. I'm like, dude, I do not want to go to a place called Total Wine and More. And she said, man, trust me. So I begrudgingly walked in there and damn near dropped to my knees like I had died and gone to heaven. I'm like, they need to emphasize the and more. Because just as a dude, seriously, wine is not a sales pitch for me, but that place is freaking outstanding. There's one near us, Ted, but I also went to one in Albuquerque, New Mexico when we were there. It is just as good, just a hell of a lot cheaper. They don't have all the taxes. That place is spectacular.
And they do actually have and more.
They do.
Like cheese balls, different kinds of fancy nuts and
They have
everything.
cigars, too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got it all, man. I love
It's
that.
basically a one-stop party shop.
It is.
Essentially. And they have the tubs of Utz cheese balls. Yes,
That's why
they
I
do.
brought it up. Yeah. You know what? I bought one last year on Super Bowl. Maybe I'll buy one in a couple weeks.
Man, nobody's going to complain, and you can take the rest home.
Right. Well, that's the issue. I just don't buy it because if we were at home, I'd find myself eating cheese balls every day until they were empty.
Yeah, that's what you do. No, it's dangerous.
Get those yellow fingers.
If you're down in Tacoma, here's where you want to go right now. The Lucky Silver Tavern. First of all, amazing tacos. But my buddy Devin owns that place, and it's a family-run joint. He has the Men's Room IPA and the Men's Room Lager on top.
Nice.
So he's got both of our beers if you're down in Tacoma at the Lucky Silver Tavern. And the food down there is fantastic as well. A couple more locations. Gentlemen, we live about 30 miles east of Coeur d'Alene. And when I emailed last summer, the closest place to find your IPA, about a half hour away in Spokane Valley. Well, today we had to go to CDA and made a side trip to Safeway. Lo and behold, there on the shelf, shining in all its glory, several bright yellow six-pack cans of the Men's Room IPA. I was so excited about a couple six-packs. We go to CDA quite often, so it's good to know I can get it there. P.S. guys, sorry about your Ravens. I was rooting for them. That from Steve.
Yeah, we were too.
A couple more. Got the very last pack of Men's Room Lagers at the Port Orchard in Fred Meyer, but they say more will be coming soon.
Nice.
That from Curry. Guys, Amy Jean picked up a 12-pack of your 20th anniversary lager made by Black Raven Brewery. Found it at Fred Meyer on Mountain Highway in Spanaway. I love the taste of it. It's very crisp for a lager. Hope there'll be some more around when spring and summer will arrive. Again, much appreciated. That from the Elk Plain Drifter. Oh, there'll be more.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, we're keeping the beer around for the year.
At least the year.
We're celebrating the entire year on the 20th.
We're just
anniversary
pushing them to
celebration.
maybe do a 21st year celebration next year.
Yeah, because we're legally allowed to drink after 21.
You know what? That is a good point. We should call it the Men's Room first legal whatever.
Legal beverage.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
What kind of beer is it? We don't know. It's just a legal beverage.
Finally legal.
Enjoy it. It's a legal beverage. What's it taste like? Does it matter?
It tastes legal.
Right. Enjoy it.
Time for Know Your Guess is as good as mine. It's an easy game to play. We'll have a contestant on the line. You pick from one of two categories, and then try to get as many right in said category before 3 strikes, and you're out. Steve, who is ready to play a little Your Guess, is as good as mine.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
Adam, welcome to the program. Your categories today, we have America's favorite sandwiches. The poll looked for the most popular sandwiches in all of America. 2,000 people were asked to name the sandwiches they consider to be one of their, quote, just favorites. Doesn't have to be most complicated. Some are a little bit more complicated than others.
Sure.
Some are just the tried and true sandwiches. So America's favorite sandwich, that's category number 1. Category number 2, we have the NFL's top 10 quarterbacks of all times. It is based on Super Bowls, winning percentages, history as far as legendary players in the game. So there's some old-time players on here. There is one active player that is in the top 10. And a couple of these guys are tied. So if you get one, I'll give you both.
The category, all right.
So to speak. So do you want to go with the NFL's top quarterbacks, or do you want to go with America's favorite sandwiches?
You know, I'm going to have to go with sandwiches today because I know food a lot better than I know football.
All right, that's fair.
Fair enough. I can save this for next week because it still matters. Then I got to put it away back in the pile. Okay, Adam, you know the game is played. There are 10 sandwiches on this list. You need to get as many right in the category before 3 strikes, and you're out. So what do you think of sandwiches? By the way, the average American, do you know how many sandwiches the average American eats a week?
Oh, a week? I'd say 5.
I'm going to say over under 9.5.
9.5? Okay. 6.
All right.
A week.
Sounds about right, man.
Or just over 300 a year. They make up around 30%, believe it or not, of the average person's diet.
And this count breakfast sandwiches?
Yes. Yes, it does.
I mean, hell, I had 2 PB&Js this morning.
46% of people say they could survive on sandwiches for the rest of their life. And it wouldn't be a big deal.
I could do that.
Half the population said I could get that done.
If it wasn't for health risk, I think I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Take the health issue out of it. I absolutely would be fine to eat sandwiches.
Not that I need to tell you, but they say the reason that people like sandwiches are easy to customize with different ingredients. They don't require any cooking. Some of these sandwiches on the list do, though. The most critical component of a good sandwich is what?
The bread?
The bread comes in at number 2. Good bread.
I mean, I guess the quote-unquote filling would be number 1, right?
The right condiments, fresh veggies. The number 1 thing is high-quality meats.
Meats.
Okay. That makes the best sandwich. And how do you cut your sandwich? Down the middle or diagonal? 32% prefer them cut in half, 35% said diagonal, and 33% said leave the whole thing intact. Don't cut it at all.
I don't cut my sandwiches, but if I do, automatically I go diagonal.
I drive you up a wall for sandwiches and cut.
All right.
Really?
Yes.
Even on just regular, like, bread?
Correct.
Okay.
Got to cut it in half.
Adam, we're doing sandwiches. So there's 10 on the list. What's your first guess? And your guess is as good as mine.
Let's go with the classic PB&J.
Peanut butter and jelly. That is number 7 on the list. 21% of people polled said that was their, 21% of the population out of 2,000. So that's their favorite sandwich.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try with grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese is number 1.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Grilled cheese is number 1. By the way, Adam, just so you know, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 hot sandwiches. 4 hot sandwiches on this list, if that helps you in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, you figure steak and cheese or Reuben, one of those has to be on there.
Yep, and I was going to say cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak is number 9 on the list. I will give you a hint. 2 of these sandwiches on here are Steve the Thrill Hill's favorite sandwiches to get as far as a hot sandwich is concerned.
Then I know one of them off the top of my head.
Reuben and the French dip.
Those, I mean, right.
Reuben.
Reuben is not on the list.
Oh, son of a...
It is number 11.
I'm wondering if it's meatball sub instead.
Oh, yeah, that's strong, man.
I'm sticking with French dip only because of the thrill
French
dip.
dip's a guarantee.
French dip.
Number 10. You've got number 10 French dip correct. Cheesesteak 9 correct. Peanut butter and jelly correct at number 7. And grilled cheese at number 1. You've gotten 4 out of the 10. Only 1 strike there, Adam.
And if you said there's 2, it will be the meatball sub.
Yeah, I think meatball sub or hoagie would be a good bet.
That is number 8. The meatball sandwich. Man.
Now I can't help you. But yeah, those 2 as a
problem
guarantee.
is once you get a meatball sandwich on your mind, it's going to be there until you have a meatball sandwich.
I know, as soon as you brought it up, I'm like, God damn it,
It's been a long time.
I mean, I wonder if we just hit the staples, turkey, ham,
I have
roast
turkey
beef.
and tuna left on my draft board. Otherwise, he picked all the other ones. Because, like, Ted, you're a big turkey sandwich dude, right?
Love them.
Right.
Yeah. Turkey wraps, specifically.
And you said there's some breakfast sandwiches on there, so...
There's no breakfast sandwiches on the list, Adam.
Oh, okay. Well, then, let's go with... let's go with the turkey sandwich.
That is number 3. That is the 3rd most popular sandwich in the United States.
That is one sandwich that even my daughter will devour.
And a good one, hot and cold.
You're right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Let's stay in the world of
Unless
lunch
it's
meat.
dinner, Ted. Dinner must be hot.
Then it's got to be hot. Well, sometimes you go to a place, too, and they, butter the bread and make it like a turkey
It's
melt.
next level, man.
Yeah.
Gravy on there.
Adam, there's one more cold cut that is on the list. So only one more cold cut.
Oh, hey, maybe an Italian.
Well, no, that's 3 different kinds of meat, and it didn't make the
So this is one specific.
This is one specific.
ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich is it, and it's number 4.
So basic, but still good, man.
Okay. You've got one more hot sandwich on the list, and you've got 2 sandwiches that I would consider salad sandwiches.
Well, let's try the pastrami.
The pastrami is not on the list. That would be in the Reuben category. And
All right, I think you should try chicken salad or tuna salad.
Yeah, let's go with tuna salad.
tuna salad's number 5.
Nice. I like tuna.
That is the 5th most popular sandwich in America. So there's 2 sandwiches left on the list. You've gotten 8 out of the 10. 2 strikes against you, Adam.
What about like an egg salad?
You think more than chicken?
Or which one did he guess? He guessed tuna?
He guessed tuna, but Miles said there was 2 salads.
Then I would go chicken personally, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Chicken salad.
Chicken salad and chicken sandwiches fried, number 2 on the list. They say the chicken sandwich category, so to speak. So if you're using chicken salad or you want a fried chicken sandwich, that is number 2. So,
You know what? You should try to order a pre-chicken sandwich, and they say, what is that? And it says egg salad.
9 out of the 10, Adam, you have correct. There's 1 sando left on the board.
It's a hot one.
It is not a hot one.
Not a hot one.
I'm going with the BLT.
A BLT, what a great guess. What a great sandwich. It does not make the top 10. Believe it or not.
I'm surprised by that.
You've got them all right except for one, and Mike brought it up. French dip at 10, cheesesteak at 9, meatball subs are 8, peanut butter and jelly. Adam got that one right at 7.
Egg salad.
He missed egg salad.
Oh, wow.
An egg sandwich.
Good sandwich,
Okay.
man.
At number 6.
No, you're not wrong, man. I just, for whatever reason, I did not think it would be on the top 10 list.
That is followed by tuna at 5, 4 is ham, turkey 3, 2 chicken sandwich. Number 1, the grilled cheese sandwich.
Just out of curiosity, I threw this up on the Men's Room Twitter page. Which quarterback do you think makes the best sandwich? Which
One that I
quarterback?
want to active
Current or not?
Garoppolo.
All right, somebody said Phillip Rivers. This is funky. Says
Black as Balls kids?
Yes.
Yeah, honestly. He probably knows how to make a lot of different sandwiches. I feel like somebody like Terry Bradshaw would just, if it's just a
He's
basic
going to make
ass
he's
sandwich.
making a po' boy.
All right, Dizzle said Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, he spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh, and he's a big dude. So I think his sandwich could be one of those, 12 ounces of meat.
No, I think he makes a mean PB&J.
Really?
That's it.
I picture me like a corned beef dude. I don't know.
I'm with Thrill, dude. I think the Big Ben has a ton of stuff on it.
Who do you think makes the worst sandwich? I know who comes to mind. As far as one you
Tom
wouldn't want to
Brady?
eat, Tom Brady.
I
Dude.
guarantee you, hey, look, Geno Smith is from New Jersey. Say what you want. New Jersey has some of the best sandwiches in the country.
Geno.
He can probably hook that up, Still to come, we're going to drink a toast with a shot of the day at 5:08. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yep,
No hassle.
none.
That is super convenient. Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Look, we're all human. We push pull doors, we blow on ice cream to cool it down, and sometimes we forget to check our blind spots. That's why the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid offers class-leading advanced safety features. Like an available blind spot view monitor, which shows you a live video feed of your blind spots. Because the Tucson Hybrid is made for humans who are just that, human. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for details.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
9.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, tech out of at 5:08. We will drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. PETA wants to replace Punxsutawney Phil with a weather reveal cake.
Weather revealed.
Yeah, they want to leave Punxsutawney Phil alone, and they now want us to basically cut into a cake that says whether or not there's 6 more weeks of winter.
Well, see, they're missing the whole point. The one, you can look at a calendar and do away with all of that.
Correct.
It's just a silly tradition they do, and PETA doesn't want anything except attention.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you come up with better ideas.
Right.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why we know Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney Phil is a hero in this house.
He is, man. He's one of the few consistently celebrated animals on the planet.
Right, he's a lot better than Staten Island Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
And they could not watch it.
No. It needs to not happen.
I bet that
Phil doesn't wanna be
groundhog. Phil, I bet Phil has a luxurious lifestyle too.
You know he
compared
does.
to most groundhogs.
He works one day a year, dude.
Yeah.
He's like the Santa Claus of woodchucks.
Right, and they put him in an.
That's a huge statement.
I mean, I can look it up. I bet he's got a nice little cage or something he lives in.
I'm sure he does.
Well, in a habitat, not a cage.
Habitat.
I wonder if he's like a classroom pet, like the rest of the year.
Right, and they just snatch him up and do the dumb thing.
That's Phil.
Yeah.
Put a little hat on it. A new study says regular dog walks could lead a longer, healthier life for older people.
Sure, because you're getting out of walking a few times a day.
Yeah, and there's your excuse
Whether you
to
want
do
to or not, doesn't matter if it's raining outside, doesn't
Right.
matter if it's cold outside. The dog needs to be taken out.
Isn't that the kind of consistent thing that we tell the senior community is, no, get out and do stuff. Stop sitting down and rotting. Just,
But I think their thing is like, but with a dog, they'll be motivated to do it.
Last night, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, tomorrow morning, I'm going to the gym.
Okay.
Start this week out right. Woke up this morning, step out. It was freezing.
Not doing it.
And I'm like, I'm going back inside. I'm not doing this today. If I had a dog, I don't have that option.
About to say, you know what I did?
I was
at
out there this morning.
I don't have that option.
You know what I did at 6:30 this morning? Put on my big ass jacket and walked my stupid little dog out
Yeah, I'm
there.
like, do you need to stiff that spot this long? I am cold.
You want to feel bad? Punxsutawney Phil has 2 homes.
He has 2 homes.
He lives down in Florida.
In
in the
this
winter.
economy?
In this economy, he's got a climate-controlled burrow at the library.
Of course.
Then he also has a home at Gobbler's Knob. Knob. Gobbler's Knob.
Oh, Lordy.
That's, you know what? I'm going to start calling her Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
You can do the math, Mike. I'm not going to say it.
Attaboy. Now, the problem that like folks like my grandfather had is that he would never actually walk the dog. He just kicks him out back.
Right, open the door, let him out
He'd
back.
go to the bathroom, let him go. If he didn't come back, he wouldn't care.
So my grandparents were. They had a collie named King, and they never bought
King Collie.
Yeah, King Collie. Never bought this dog food. That dog ate whatever they ate. All the things you're not supposed to do. King was the happiest dog you've ever seen. Never got fat and lived for 17 years.
Damn right.
Right, and that was it. If they ate ice cream, when they had a little bit left in the back when it was in the like rectangular cartons, it tossed the thing out back. Dog's on, cleaned it up. Grandmother go out there and grab it. We ate spaghetti. She'd always put aside some spaghetti.
Nice.
Toss it up it. That dog would eat it. And like I said, 17 years, and this was the happiest non-barking dog you've ever seen in your life.
You probably already know about this, Steve, but NASA is tracking a bus-sized, quote-unquote, bus-sized asteroid that is flying at Earth at 30,000 miles an hour.
I did see that, but it's twice as far away as the moon, and it's not going to hit.
Right, I'm about to say, if they're telling us, it's not going to hit us.
But they wouldn't tell you if it was. Because here's the thing.
Exactly. If
So
we know
it's
about it, it's not hitting us.
Because NASA's position is like, look, if there was some life-ending asteroid spiraling toward Earth, don't tell people for 2 reasons. 1, people are not going to behave for whatever the amount of time. And 2, if we're wrong, then everything's just gone to chaos.
Then you
So they're
cause
like, look,
anarchy.
if you're going... So there might be one hurtling toward Earth right now. They're not going to tell you.
Right. And especially when it's that far away. How long would that take to get here? Like a month?
30,000 miles an hour? Not that long, no. We can get to the moon in about 3 days, and we're not traveling. We're traveling about 17,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get about a week.
A few days.
Yeah.
That's just way too much time. We would do so much
Right.
stupid stuff.
It'd be interesting to see how people would react.
Yeah.
Well, that's what like we know how people would react.
Yeah.
So you see how people react because their fries are cold. So they're like, you think we're going to tell them about imminent doom? Hell no.
No. We'll just go
Yeah, you're
quiet
right.
into the night.
I mean, think about it.
It would be chaos.
Right.
Horrible.
You forgot my extra sauce in my order. I'm going to shoot you. We're not going to tell you about the asteroid coming in.
Well, you'd be like, you wouldn't pay for a meal, but then also, why would anybody be at work?
Let's say, what restaurant are you going to?
That's right.
Right? Like, I mean, you couldn't drive around because even the cops are probably like, yeah, I'm taking the day off.
I'm shooting up heroin. I want to see what it's like.
Right.
Then to find out it misses, and I'm like, crap, now I'm addicted to heroin.
Friendly reminder, gents, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Just a couple weeks to be exact.
Oh, is it?
2 weeks from Friday, yes. But just in case you wanted to rekindle that spark between you and your beloved, we got a few questions you can ask.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
The top 10 or more questions science says to ask your partner if you want to fall in love with them again.
Do you?
Christ, wasn't once enough? I mean, let me get out my pen and notepad. Look, here's the thing. You both have to want to make your relationship better. When one person has their head buried in the sand and thinks everything is just hunky-dory, while the other person has been busting their ass and carrying the relationship for both of you, I don't think a deep peering question is going to make the difference. But hey, make sure you ask them how their favorite color makes them feel and they tell you about their first stuffed animal. That ought to do it. What bliss.
Yeah. And these questions. My God, here's the thing. You should know the answer to a lot of these, or at least have had some form of this conversation before you get to this point.
But this is science, Mike.
Exactly.
And when it comes to romance, I, for one, prefer science.
Right. So just enjoy the irony before you send me an angry-ass text or email. So anyway, these are questions that if you want to fall in love with your partner again, according to science. Bottom of the list, they say, if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Why would you
You're
ask
asking this to your partner?
To your partner.
Oh.
That sounds like you're judging them.
Right.
Like, you should really have an answer. I got a list of like 20. I just want to see if any of these line up.
Like, have you truly just run out of stuff to talk about? Is there nothing going on in your life?
That should be the response from your spouse.
Yes. I want to learn who you are. We've been married for 13 years. I want to learn who you are.
You didn't pick up any cues along the way.
Right. You've not caught one hint.
They say to take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible.
Again?
How does she not know it?
My wife would be like, dude, I've heard this before.
Right.
I can finish
They
your
say
story
that
for you.
anyway.
Yeah.
Because I forgot I told him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need
You
to
told me that yesterday. Oh, my bad.
Maybe not
I knew I was
excruciating
talking.
detail.
I knew I was talking to somebody. I just forgot it was you.
But you know a handful. You know the cliff notes, the big key points.
Maybe you don't want to know.
There's a few things I
Really?
haven't told you.
Yeah, or just
I killed a man in Japan.
You want to know what my dreams were before you and the kids came along?
Financial independence.
Right?
Before you both
Early retirement.
Yeah. You ever been to Chile? I was going to go.
Now we're going to Chili's.
Right. Now we're making chili at home.
I was going to be sipping Mai Tais with the lovely senorita out on the beach.
Yeah.
Gone.
Now look at me.
I got drunk at a freaking rock concert. Now I got crotch goblins.
I was going to wake up each day to a different woman. And every time I open my eyes, it's you again.
Why did you ask me this? It's like a circle of hell having to say it out loud.
I was keeping it to myself, damn it.
I haven't to say it out loud. I locked this. I buried this deep.
Yeah. God. How many Catholic sessions I went through just to be okay with this life with you?
You want to know what now?
You know how many times I cry myself to sleep on the couch?
God damn it, it's been 10 years. Get the whiskey. I'm back.
It's been 10 years.
Right, and my smokes.
You're just sober for 10 years. Screw it. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't take it anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? That's not going to get dark.
That is going to be a happy conversation.
My uncle.
Right, exactly.
What did he do?
Crack the bottle of whiskey again. We're going into it.
Yeah. Would have done better on the SAT, so I could have got into a 4-year college.
Make it three fingers.
And again, I feel like you already know the answer to that.
Oh, crime.
Right, you're married to this person.
You hear about it plenty.
Never talked about the bad aspects of my childhood?
Yeah, that stuff.
That's kind of the problem with getting into a relationship is that, I mean, assuming you both do it, but you kind of absorb the burden, the emotional burden that your partner had just locked away from the first part of their life. Like, they're unpacking this baggage.
Right, and now they share it with you.
That's right. They haven't talked to anybody about this.
And
now
you know what you don't want
to
to do? They tell it to you, and it means a lot, right? It is important to me. but I'm never going to bring it up.
Right.
Like, I am not going to bring this up unless you do.
But you secretly want to tell somebody about this? Like, dude, you'll never believe what happened.
My wife's goddamn crazy.
Questions to ask your partner to fall in love all over again.
You know what, I wanted to be a utility infielder.
Right.
Travel from city to city for 15 years. Once in a while, I bunt the ball. That's it, honey. That's all I wanted.
I wanted to be a Ryan Fitzpatrick, play for 9 teams,
and everybody loves me. Yeah.
And then I'm going to retire and do talk on Amazon.
And everybody still loves me.
If you could... No. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? Trick question, fellas. If you don't say her, you're sleeping on the couch.
It's just that easy. Once you have kids, start with the kids and she's next.
That's right.
I mean, it's how the order of things.
I'm grateful that we don't have to talk very much.
Yeah.
That we just know so much about each other.
No, it's just like kind of like I know what you're thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking, but I act like you do. I just nod.
You're right.
Are we done with this?
I did want to talk about painting the walls again.
I need to get in the shower.
Right.
Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. Again, we haven't gone over this yet.
2 of them are kids. The third's that we're married.
The third's the watering.
I like food. You like food. We sleep.
Right. We both like Ravens football.
You drive to work. I drive to work.
I don't know why. This just I just can't imagine being married for like 14 years and having these conversations. Like, what are we doing?
The problem is the cringe nature of believing that you would sit down with somebody like, honey, I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Like, oh, no.
Right. Yeah, you want to rekindle it, put a blonde wig on.
Oh,
wow. Get some fake boobs, for God's sake.
Right.
Keep your high heels on in bed.
I mean, maybe stuff your bra from time to time. Damn.
I'm not Justin Tucker, but I'd like to see the uprights.
Wow. That's not wrong. Right? You want to rekindle it? There you go.
Yeah.
How do you feel about butt stuff?
Right.
That's actually from a text. But they're not wrong.
Can we circle back to the conversation that you shut down 3 years ago?
Let's circle back to butt
Have
stuff.
you loosened up, no pun intended at all, on the subject?
Okay, no more questions.
All right, we're done here. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna change that right now.
By the way, happy Valentine's Day, baby.
Here's some flowers and some candy.
Wow.
Do you know how you're gonna die?
Probably having a heart attack pleasing you.
Do you have a hunch about how you're going to die?
Do you really want to make him laugh?
In other words, can you taste the antifreeze and the juice I gave you?
Follow it up with, I do.
I have a lot of hunch.
I have a hunch how you about to die.
You have any hunch?
You have any more questions?
These also work great on the first date.
Oh, mercy. Oh, my God, they do.
You have any hunches about how you're going to die?
I feel like a lot of stuff gets hashed out in those first few dates.
Did you think this would be the last date you've ever been on?
Oh, damn.
If you were able...
You're right, though.
Duct tape's on sale at Home Depot.
I never knew this would be the last time I came in this bar on a Saturday night single.
It's according to science. Questions to ask your partner to help rekindle your falling in love with them. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
And say body.
Right? Please say body.
I think both genders would say body.
What am I going to do with my mind?
I don't care if
I'm
you're
retired.
crazy. Yeah.
Right. I'm playing bingo, man.
Right, I'm 90. Like, I don't know. Like, I want the body to work.
Exactly. Yeah. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
What if you
heard my wife sing? She should not sing to anyone unless she's angry at you.
Right.
But she sings plenty.
You want to know when it happened? Is when you left early for work and I was taking a shower.
Just like everybody.
That's right. Or in the car on the way to work.
My mom used to sing all the time. I used to sit there as a kid and go, "This is absolutely horrible." She has no idea, but I've got to be quiet.
I know.
My mother, when Anita Baker put out, what was her album? Oh, I can't remember. Something. It came out like in the 80s. And my mother, she kept flipping the record over and she would sing it and sing it and sing it and sing it. In recent years, I've repurchased the record. And it is very good. But my memory of the record is horrible because we never heard Anita Baker. We heard my mother.
Oh, no.
Every word to every song. Even my father's like, I'm going to drink heavily, and I don't.
That's right. Hey, it makes her happy. That's all that matters.
Ding.
That's right. That's why he's
so
drinking.
You say nothing. That's right. He said nothing. I said nothing.
That's right. What would constitute a perfect day for you? You're not asking this question.
Oh, my wife tells me that. We were off for 3 weeks at Christmas. She's like, you and the kids are home. Right. Your perfect day is that we are not.
That's right.
It's just that easy. It is that simple. I don't falter. I'm like, I get it, man.
I'll tell you what it is. It's me cracking a beer at 6 a.m. And our buddies from College Game Day are on the stage. We are tailgating.
For me, the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl. I am there. I am doing blow with hookers.
That's right.
There's my perfect day.
Cracking a beer at 6 a.m., gagging the nag, and watching some football.
Right.
Yeah, somehow I've tailgated all day, drinking, but I'm not drunk. And then we go to an awesome nightclub and watch some of our favorite DJs.
There you go.
That much of the Ravens
well,
win the Super Bowl with Chewbacca.
Yeah, with you too.
With you, honey. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why? Because I'm awkward. I'm awkward as hell, and I have to rehearse these
It
things.
depends. Am I going to lie?
Right.
I mean, the last time I had to rehearse phone calls, I got to call my wife because I'm too drunk to get home. And like, all right, how do I minimize how bad the situation
I'm
actually
talking
is?
to my probation officer. Maybe I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, but other than that, it's just coming out of my mouth.
And then this is the number one question. If you want to fall in love with your partner again.
Science is not doing well on this.
No, they're not. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want to have as a dinner guest? The answer is not your father.
Yeah, I know the answer. For my wife, Morris Chestnut. And he is shirtless.
I'm about to say.
And horny.
About to say.
And drunk.
You're not there either.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Chestnuts roasted.
And he's shirtless. And horny. And drunk.
Yeah, I mean, like that would be her perfect dinner date.
He somehow is only wearing flowers.
Yeah. And he wants
Her
you to
favorite
feed him
flower.
grapes.
Tastefully. A man in Texas made a viral video featuring his 3-month-old, and CPS was called, Miles.
What was that?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasted.
Yes, indeed. And today's shot is brought to you by our friends at Black Raven Brewery. Let this be a lesson to parents out there everywhere, because today we toast a 10-year-old boy from Yangning County, China. Now, after being severely scolded by his father for not completing his homework on time, the boy stormed out of the house and went straight to a nearby store. That's where he asked to use the phone. Well, he dialed 110, that's the Chinese equivalent of 911, and asked to speak to the police. When the police got on the phone, he told them he had proof that his father was concealing poppy shells, an illegal narcotic, there in China. Well, the kid waited patiently for the police to arrive. Then he led him into the house so that they could conduct a search. And during their search, the police indeed found 8 dried poppy shells on the balcony. Dad was admitted that he bought them, and then he was arrested and taken away. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you're going to yell at your kid, don't be doing anything questionable that the kid knows about. The kid's like, all right, cool. Yell at me.
Poppy shells?
Poppy shells. So poppy, which obviously made into all kinds of different things there, but in China, absolutely very much illegal. So even to buying the poppy shells, it's not something you want to have there. Basically, they're finding like cocaine residue would be the equivalent of that. So they showed up, they lived in the apartment, the guys went out on the balcony, and there's like, yeah, there's 8 of them here. The problem is the kid knew, yelled at the kid's like, F you, Dad, sending your ass to jail. They believe the kid regrets it now. They're not entirely sure because Dad hasn't come back home.
Say right now, Dad's in jail.
Dad's in jail. I'm just saying, if you can yell at your kids about something, make sure that whatever you're doing on the side, they know nothing about. Because kids are kids.
Yeah, and if you're doing illegal drugs, maybe not leave them out on the balcony.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, the kid knew where it all was. Just saying, man. So again, if you're going to yell at your kids, it's cool. You do what you got to do as a parent. But if you're doing illegal activity and they're aware of it, maybe meet them halfway. That's all. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
Let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This Now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
College holds a mythic place in American culture. On the new Campus Files podcast, we uncover the scandals you won't hear on the campus tours. Find Campus Files on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dreaming of a 6-night getaway to paradise? Escape to the islands of Tahiti and Moorea with Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. This all-inclusive vacation package is designed to take you to a tropical haven, starting with non-stop flights from Los Angeles or Seattle to Tahiti. From the vibrant cabins to the warmth of our Polynesian crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your package includes luxurious hotel stays, ensuring that your experience is as comfortable as it is enchanting. Start each day with a delicious Polynesian breakfast. Enjoy exciting excursions that showcase the beauty and culture of the islands, and take advantage of convenient transfers that make your trip seamless from start to finish. All of this begins at just $26.95 per person. Whether you're looking to explore crystal clear waters, unwind on pristine beaches, or immerse yourself in rich Polynesian culture, Tahiti and Moorea offer endless possibilities for both adventure and relaxation. Call 1-877-468-2448 now to book your Tahiti and Moorea escape.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Plumbing backs up and things get stinky. Call Pinky's.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steven Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores. All right, Jason, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. You have a choice of one of three stories today. We offer you interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, Seriously, where you guess the petty conflict that led to extreme violence.
Let's go interior decorating.
All right, a woman in Thailand. She had to endure severe pain for nearly 2 decades after childbirth. The woman, who's now 36, said a nurse accidentally dropped something into her vagina 18 years ago while stitching her up after childbirth. A doctor apparently tried using his fingers to retrieve it, but could not get it. She was soon feeling constant pain in her lower abdomen, which often turned severe. Well, an x-ray last year showed that an object was still lodged in her vagina, prompting doctors at a local hospital to send her for surgery. The procedure, however, has been postponed 2 to 3 times as the object keeps moving around inside of her. Now, the woman has to visit the hospital at least 4 times a month for follow-ups to monitor her condition, causing her significant financial strain. As of this reading, the object is still there, in spite of the fact that they know it's there, they just can't get it. Here's our question. What is the object that they dropped into her vagina when she was giving birth? Was it scissors? Was it a sponge? Was it a needle, or was it a suction cup? So scissors, sponge, needle, or suction cup. What did they drop in hoo-ha? And now it keeps moving around, so they know it's there. They just can't get to it to get it out.
Man, I think because of the it keeps moving around clue, I'm thinking suction cup. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go needle, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, suction cup makes the most sense. Needle makes no sense. So I kind of agree with Miles there. But you know what? I'm just going to go scissors.
Scissors.
Something sharp in there, but they can't get it.
All right. What was left inside her? Was it scissors, a sponge, a needle, or a suction cup? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
The category or interior decorating on profile. Let's get a woman over in Thailand. She was in pain for 2 decades, 20 years. She had a baby. The surgeons, doctors, accidentally left something inside her.
Yeah.
They keep trying to operate on this thing, but it's moving around to the point where they can't. Question is, what was left inside of her? Scissors, a sponge, a needle, or a suction cup?
And that is a question that we posed to you, my friend Jason. But let us start with D. Ted Smith. Went with the old scissors.
Scissors.
It was not scissors, which is probably a good thing. Now, Jason, you went with the suction cup. Not the suction cup. Although they used one of those to get my daughter out.
Yep.
She had a cord around her neck.
Then she gets the cone head.
It's amazing because there's all this high-tech stuff around you. This is a childbirth. Things are beeping. There's lights flashing. And then when they realized, like, well, look, man, she's kind of jammed up in there, it took a freaking suction cup, stuck it on her head, yanked her ass out. And yes, you do get a cone head. And as the doctor told me before I asked, yes, the cone head will go away. Thank God. Miles, you went with the needle.
Moving around.
And you are correct.
All right. How wonderful to know you have a needle moving around inside of you.
How terrified is that?
Sucks.
When they go, hey, man, we found the problem. The problem, there's a needle. Okay, cool. We'd love to do surgery, but it keeps moving. So you just have to stay in pain and still.
Wouldn't you think it would rust by now? I mean, just like any other metal that's been around. I mean,
but is it stainless steel? I'm guessing.
Yes.
But doesn't rust come from like getting wet and being out in the elements?
Yeah.
Probably.
This thing's been enclosed.
Yes, that's a good point.
In the fluid.
I would be scared to have sex with it, though. Like, wait a minute. You said the needle's where. I mean, seriously, I don't know how this works, but if you say that's where it is, like, I'm not doing that.
Good times.
What if she's super hot?
Now for all the TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, you got Bill Maher, The Jimmies,
Fallon and Kimmel,
Seth Meyers, Weekend Update, or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have teams of talents and writers. Something come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Totino's is matching up their pizza roll flavors with Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal to create a new cereal. Perfect for anyone that wants to mash their calves to their ankles.
SNL.
Bill Maher.
It's SNL.
Totino's is partnering with General Mills to mash up their pizza roll flavor with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Perfect for anyone who wants to mash their calves with their ankles.
A resident of Bend, Oregon, says he's the person behind some of the googly eyes that appeared on sculptures around the cities in recent months, and it sparked a viral sensation. However, the judge was not happy with him and sentenced him to fines and maybe a couple days in jail so he could finally see the problem with his own eyes.
The Ted Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, it was me.
Still hilarious.
Oh, it is funny. He turned himself in.
Like, I know you're not supposed to do it. I get that it's vandalism. I'm not discounting that. But when I saw those pictures, I burst out laughing. They are hilarious.
I told you, when I used to rent those RVs for Cruise America, some of the doors would have a little dog on them.
Yeah.
So I was at a festival, and somebody had put giant googly eyes on them. I was like, careful. My dog's really high on acid. And I would, like, hold my flashlight up, and they're like, Jesus Christ, man, I thought you had a real dog in there. I'm like, no. Velveeta has made nacho cheese that you could stick in your pocket, saying now it's easier than ever for fans to elevate any food item because nothing says elevate like squirtable cheese that you heat up with your butt cheek.
Fallon.
SNL.
Colbert.
Velveeta has made nacho cheese you can stick in your pocket, saying now it's easier than ever for fans to elevate any food item because nothing says elevate like squirtable cheese you heat up with your ass cheek.
The Oscar nominations were announced with the musical Emilio Perez leading the pack with 13 total viewers.
Took me a second. Weekend update. I'll say the same.
Yeah, that's it.
The Oscar nominations were announced with the musical Emilia Perez leading the pack with 13 total viewers.
Mike watched it, said he loved it.
Oh my God. It was a train wreck. It was an absolute disaster.
It's that bad.
It was so bad.
Do you even see? Because like Oscar people try to find dumb reasons for really. There's nothing.
No. There is nothing that should put it on the Oscar ballot.
And you're probably the most forgiving as far as criticisms of movies and stuff.
Also, remind your wife, it is black tie, my party. I prefer a gown.
Oh, of course. She's already got it bought. Dude, she had it bought 6 months ago.
All right. In airline news, JetBlue announced it'll start accepting Venmo, while Spirit Airlines will continue to accept the preferred method of payment, human teeth.
SNL. Found.
Colbert.
In airline news, JetBlue is now accepting Venmo, while Spirit Airlines will continue to accept their preferred method of payment, human teeth.
Obviously, I think we should just get into it. We found out yesterday, only 2 games on, and it started with the Washington Commanders playing the Eagles, and obviously the Eagles were pretty good, and here's them getting their trophy.
On behalf of the National Football League, it is my honor to present the George Halas Trophy to the National Football Conference champions, our Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean, I grew up, in D.C., so I naturally kind of hate the Eagles in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how the rest of the country feels. I feel like a lot of the country's just kind of annoyed. It's like Washington was a good story. You had Jaden Daniels in there. I know for a lot of, like I kept saying all weekend, it's my ex. But also, if you're a Seahawks fan, right, you have Dan Quinn coaching them.
Sure.
You got Bobby Wagner locking down that defense. I want to say, is Ken Norton on that staff too? Like, there's a few Seahawks connections. That was kind of fun. The Eagles and Saquon Barkley they're just good.
Yeah.
A lot of my family was all fired up for that game. I was excited to watch that one too, but you make a couple mistakes and then frankly, it's just hard to stop them to run the ball. And like I told Mike earlier, I think it's awesome. Somehow over the years, especially the Giants, and I watched that show, have just devalued how important running backs are, which I get, but I don't know how that GM still has a job after this year.
That's why the Giants are the Giants. I mean, there's the difference, man, right there. You go, okay, that's what you said. I mean, in the Ravens, they failed where they failed, but Derrick Henry, you saw that. If you have a great running back, man, it helps. It makes
I still think the Ravens should have fed him the rock more.
I do too, and it is what it is, but no one, in spite of them failing and falling short, no one disputes the impact that these two guys had. Correct. They're just at the very top of it, but there's a lot of running backs who had some really good seasons this season. That guy from the Giants is just one of the dumber GMs, but that's evidence not by getting rid of Saquon, but by the team. You see it every year. Dude, you are a failure. You do not know what you were talking about, and good for you for having a gig and making money, but you're wrong in every aspect of your decision making. You are incorrect.
And look, I've said this before. I really do think now, because there's so much stuff with 7-on-7, these offenses are so spread out, right? And then, of course, everybody sits in cover too. I really do think there's going to be a resurgence in running the ball, controlling the clock, and the game will change again. I mean, the game always changes, right? And in the 80s and 90s, the running back was your whole offense. And you still had great receivers and everything, but now there's so many good receivers and quarterbacks, and you look at Washington, they're set because they have a franchise quarterback who's on a rookie contract. So now they can build around him.
They got 4 years to really, 3 more seasons to really take advantage, and then do your contract negotiations.
Correct. And I just think, look, I watch a lot of college ball. I'm telling you, there's 2 or 3 Justin Jeffersons or Jamal Chase. They're out there. Mm-hmm. You could. I feel like now you could find wide receivers a lot easier. And look, at the end of the day, I hope everybody gets a max contract, right? I want everybody to get paid, but that's just not the way it works. All right, in the other game, of course, you had the Chiefs and the Bills. And, I like Andy Reid. I don't really care for the Chiefs. I'm just kind of bored of watching them win, but they won again. And how about those Chiefs?
How about those? That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Now we get to do something that's never been done before.
Chiefs Kingdom, we're headed to New Orleans to make history.
Now, I want to say you can't really say three-peat because, Pat Riley, I think, trademarked that when he was coaching the Lakers, even though they didn't do it. But he went out of his way. He was that confident that they were going to win it. So that's why people say 3 in a row. Nobody really says, I could be wrong. They might have a shirt that says three-peat, but I feel like nobody really does it.
They'll pay the fine. They're fine.
Right. So, like this article says, Taylor Swift's going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because she bought a ticket.
She bought a suite.
Right. I also, I mean, it helps knowing Thrill and his brother. I do not think games are rigged. No. Now, Patrick Mahomes has come out and said, hey, look, I'll flop sometimes, this and that. So, I think they are putting these refs in a bit of a tough spot anymore. And frankly, though, when you're the top of the league and the top quarterback, I mean, this isn't really that new that he gets treated a little bit better. Because nobody wants to see him get hurt. No. Like Tom Brady, you could barely breathe on him. It's funny now, Tom Brady's all like, they should let him hit harder and this and that.
Yeah, but, you say that now.
It's also tough, too. Look, I'm a soccer fan, right, as well as football. It does get annoying with the flopping, but the other issue is that if it works and you get that PK, people are going to continue to do it.
But it's true of all things, man. If you can pass, interfere, or hold, which they do on every play.
Yeah.
You got to keep doing it until they call your ass. And you know what you do after that? You keep holding anyway. I mean, it's the nature of the sport. And yes, he's going to get slightly different treatment, and that comes into play. But overwhelmingly, if you just go beat the team you're playing, it doesn't matter. If you believe the officials come down to determining your team's fate, then you need to tell your team to get their S together.
Right, and look, we'll have 2 weeks to talk about this game and this and that. But at this point, I don't know. Like, how the Eagles work, I don't get it. It seemed like their coach was losing his mind in the first half of the season, yelling at the fans and everything. But to his credit, his players seem to respond to it. That's obviously a tight squad there that's fired up. And then, I just feel like if they start running the ball, the Chiefs might just run out of time.
They might. I mean, in the end, it's like, look, I'm not happy to see the Chiefs back there, but they earned the right.
They're the two best teams that made it that far.
And in the end,
that's all you're looking for.
Have your team beat them. I thought the Ravens might be the guy. They didn't do it. Right? They flopped.
Correct.
But it's like, you got to go beat the guy in front of you. That is how it works. And they're proving that they are good enough, as annoying as it is, to be on top of the AFC and the NFC. I mean, it's what they do. So go beat them if that's an issue.
I'm also saying that Washington game, they were about to do the tush-push, and then Philadelphia was, and Washington jumped off sides 3 times in a row. I had no idea that was a rule. And they were like, basically, if Washington's off sides again, then they just get the touchdown. And I was like, all right. It's just, I don't know.
That is weird.
When you watch it, right? Like, when you watch as much football as we have or played over the years, you're just kind of like, I get why you have that rule. That just seems very strange. Just be like, I guess you couldn't stop them from continually jumping off sides.
Right.
Right? So you're only going to go half the distance. After a while, you can only half the distance something so far before it's just like, all right, they're going to do it again.
You're in the end zone.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's your setup there. Chiefs and Eagles. Make sure you have fun with all your friends that say the NFL's rigged and they're going to boycott it, because we all know damn well they are not. No. They're going to watch the game.
And stop with that. Jesus freaking Christ.
Tim McGraw has reported, basically, he's got a show where he's on Netflix. I didn't even know about this one. I might have to watch it. But he's a bull rider.
Is it? As an actor. Okay, yeah. So he's an actor.
Right. So this was announced back in May. He was attached to produce and star in it. But now they're saying that he needs to undergo back surgery and might. So obviously, he's coming off orthopedic surgeries on both of his knees.
I wonder if this is from the training involved in this.
Probably.
Or if this is just
he's
stuff
our age or older.
I mean, he works out like a maniac. So,
right. That's what he, like they're saying, like the training for this is so physically demanding that he's stepping away, hoping somebody will recast it. Basically, they don't know what's going to happen. That was the whole idea. He was going to produce it. It was going to be his thing. It was going to follow megastar traveling around in the life or death crossroads, of bull riding. And unfortunately, bull riding is a life or death sport.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see it in person. I think it's back here in February or something. But, obviously, if the dude has some jacked up knees or body problems, there's no way he could be riding bulls.
And he's our age. And I get your producer, but like if they say, hey, man, we're making this movie about this. Would you want to star? Yeah, sure. Okay, we have to do some training. Okay, look, man, physically, I'm not built for that. This isn't a movie where you just look good and pump steroids and I'm a boxer. It's like, you're training to ride a bull, man. Nothing good is happening to you.
Right, because I know with even Yellowstone, they had like a mini camp, I want to say, for 2 months before they started filming that show.
Ride horses.
Yeah, basically people, some of them knew, a couple of them knew, but a lot of them didn't. They were like, you need to at least know how to proficiently ride a horse.
Yeah.
So that the characters seem legit. You know what I mean? You can only do so many scenes where it's just Ted sitting on the horse. Like eventually, like
you're gonna have to move.
Right. Well, if he's a cowboy, we need to see him ride the damn horse and like rounded up stuff. By the way, have you guys ever tried to rope anything?
I have not.
It is harder than you think.
Why were you trying to rope something?
The little kid was running away.
When I was down in Houston last year for the national title game, before we went to that John Party concert, they had a bunch of cowboys set up out front with fake bulls. And they were like, you guys want to give it a try? We were like, hell yeah, man.
So they're static, right?
And
the bulls.
is it even?
The bulls are just like little bit. It's how the cowboys practice.
Right. All right.
So you got to kind of get it going and then get it on there. I only got one horn.
Out of how many?
Oh, I must have tried 10 times. Because the concert was already starting. They were like, we don't really care. And then the one guy was like, and they're like, where are you from? And I'm like, Seattle. And the guy's like, oh, no kidding, man. I just travel around and do this. I'm from Washington State, too.
Oh.
I was like, you're not even from Texas? He was like, no. Fake cowboy. If you like Saturday Night Live, there's a 3-hour special tonight. Basically on 50 years of music on SNL. And to their credit, they have broke and put on a lot more artists than you would imagine.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man learns a valuable lesson. Never cut line at the dinner buffet. Meanwhile, a man walks a half mile in the snow delivering pizza and gets $40,000 that day. Millionaire trying to stop aging measures his son's erections every night. A TikToker who cleans snow off a car with a child. Obviously not that bright. And a man orders a drill online and gets a picture of a drill instead. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Our top story, we go to Texas where fun will not be had. The area has recently been hit with a considerable snowstorm, and a local man decided that he'd make a fun video. Uploaded to TikTok, we see the man using an unconventional method of brushing the snow off of his car. His bundled up 3-month-old that he drags over the window to clear it of snow. I actually saw the video. It quickly went viral online and also caught the attention of local authorities. Local police and CPS both launched investigations after catching wind of the video and declared that this behavior constituted child endangerment. The chief of police informed the media that they had gone to the man's home to investigate and to check on the child, saying that he had, quote, 2 females with him at the time. We expect one of them was the mom. They checked on the baby. The baby was just fine.
You don't say.
He also said that he expected to be served an arrest warrant soon and will face child endangerment charges. They're still going forward with pressing charges on him.
Look, man, have fun. Do the thing that everyone does with their kids. Just don't post it online.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, this stuff has not changed since the dawn of time. But if you post it online, people will get upset.
Correct.
And then you will get arrested.
And you know what? You're right. I came in here just ready to fully defend this man because I'm the fuddy-duddy that actually thinks that this is fine. I don't care. I laughed when I saw it.
Yes.
But you're right. Somebody's always going to have an opinion. Somebody is always going to tell you why you're a terrible parent, and then they're going to call CPS when it doesn't need to be done.
And that's all. So, just don't do it, man.
Yeah.
We decided we don't want to have fun anymore.
Exactly.
Well, we haven't, but a lot of the country has. And you go, our man don't have fun. We're going to continue to.
It was one of those where I read the story and I was like, this does not sound, this sounds like an overreaction.
If he
and then
was
I finally,
legitimately
he's joking.
Right.
Right. And again, it's not like he took the kid fresh out the tub in his birthday suit and slapped him on
Right.
the hood of the car. This kid is completely bundled up. It's no different than these parents that lower their child into the doggone snow to make their first snow angel.
Right.
And it doesn't look anything like a doggone angel. But it's a fun little video that you do with this little potato that you're taking care of.
But that's not a problem.
Yeah,
that's
right.
a snow angel.
Uh-huh.
Same snow windshield.
Doesn't matter that the kid's freaking laughing during the entire time. Like, come on, gang. Can we just exercise a little bit of common sense here?
Mm-hmm.
In other news, down in Georgia where a man got scammed. He's in the media after he did what most of us do on a regular basis. He bought something online. He wanted to get himself a new drill, so he went to the website known as AliExpress and ordered one last year. You can imagine his excitement when his package finally arrived, but excitement soon turned to disappointment when he opened it up to find a photograph of the drill that he had ordered. But wait, there's more. He had also spent $22 on a new pressure washer. $22 on a new pressure washer from the same site and received a screw in the mail. Local media did some digging and found that the site is actually on a list of known markets for counterfeiting and piracy, having received a D-, not an F, a D- with the Better Business Bureau. He's still in a fight to get his money back.
What did they do to get an F? They don't even send a picture of a drill.
I'll tell you what they do, man. They screw over my family.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Dealing with somebody that
oh no,
they like to double charge their patients.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is they'll submit this whole report. They'll go through a 6-month battle with the insurance companies trying to figure out who owes what, and then what they'll do is they'll omit doggone codes on there when they're declaring them for the insurance, so that then they can send them your way and you have to pay them. And then when you call them up and say, hey, you didn't submit these codes to the insurance, they say no, you have to
deal with
your insurance company. And then your insurance company gets on with them and has that same conversation, and what do you know? They just neglected to send out those doggone codes. Yes, Cellnetics, looking at you.
Jeez,
jackasses.
Send
the code.
Freaking crooks. But I'm not bothered about that. But just in case those stories with the bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
I'm not even going to go to that last one over there. We go to Indiana, where someone notices grit. A local officer was in the scene of a crash due to perilous snowy conditions in the area when he noticed someone walking with a pizza. He continued on with his duties until he saw the young man walking by yet again, this time without the pizza. Turns out that was a delivery driver that went above and beyond the call of duty and walked a half a mile that he had left through the snow, which had been blocked, leading to his drop-off. So he gets all the way there. There's a half mile left, and he can't get up there because of the snow. This guy gets out and walks it, that last half mile, right? The officer interviewed the driver who had success, because he has a TikTok account, so he pulls out his phone and he videos it. And he interviewed the driver who had successfully made his drop in the affluent neighborhood and asked what he got for a tip. The driver held out his bonus that he had made on a $40 delivery, $2.15.
Come on. You can do better than that.
Yeah, well, 40 grand's pretty good.
Filming his interview with the driver, the officer immediately gave the young man everything that he had in his wallet and even set up a GoFundMe with the hope of getting him a proper tip. What he didn't expect was the influx of donations, blowing the lofty $500 goal out of the water and amassing $39,000 for
Damn.
it.
Awesome.
Gotta love that. Because he's also looking around. He's like, look at these homes.
Did you see the video?
No.
Oh, my God. There's also, look, I know that the cops have a lot of things to do.
Of course.
They are in the richest part of town.
They are.
Clearing the roads. They're like running traffic and all this stuff. I'm like, Why are you there?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, these people should have, like, really nice four-wheel drives and everything else. Like, geez.
But he's looking around saying, look at all these doggone homes. Like, they can afford to give the guy better than a $2 tip for him. Men's Room Sports are brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. Some good news for Ravens fans. After losing a heartbreaker in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs against the Buffalo Bills, focus was drawn mainly on the nail in the coffin play, a missed opportunity at a 2-point conversion with a drop ball by star tight end Mark Andrews. Because of this, he was the target of scrutiny online, but was also the subject of the charitability of the Bills Mafia. Doing what they do, they took pity on Mark and rallied together to raise some money for his charity that fights against juvenile diabetes. Setting the goal at $5,000 to send to the charity, they exceeded it by quite a bit. Yeah, bringing in $140,000 that they're going to send to his charity.
Now they got one of their own to take care of.
That's right. Criminy. What are you going to watch tonight? You got college and NBA basketball on, as well as some hockey. Your Seattle Kraken are in Edmonton taking on the Oilers later on tonight. If you'd like to know where to watch any and all of those sports, I highly recommend you download the Sports on What app. They will let you know when it's on, where it's on, and at what time. As far as your weather, enjoy these last few days of sunshine because the clouds are moving in this week. Tonight, things are cooling down to a clear 29 degrees before settling into tomorrow, where we're going to expect sunny skies and a high of 45. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Jolene is up next. Listen to her promise on the Odyssey app for your chance to win $5K a day.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
College holds a mythic place in American culture. On the new Campus Files podcast, we uncover the scandals you won't hear on the campus tours. Find Campus Files on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.